Chapter 514. Even though Su Yun had left the Dragon Brigade for so long, Gong Jiuxiao was at a disadvantage the first time they met again. This was a painful blow to Gong Jiuxiao. All his sense of superiority was swept away after seeing Su Yun again. In this Dragon Brigade, even though Su Yun had left for so long as he came back, he was the most influential one. And as the best captain of several teams in the Dragon Brigade, he still couldn't be compared to the former captain of the Dragon Fury team. This gap made Gong Jiuxiao feel an inexplicable sense of loss. He even had the desire to take revenge. Envy, jealousy, and hatred were climbing to the peak. For Gong Jiuxiao, Su Yun was the same age as him. In the past, he was like his idol. He envied Su Yun very, very much. But when he grew up to be a captain like Su Yun, he began to realize why he couldn't get Su Yun's support. He began to be jealous. He was jealous that Su Yun's luck was better than his. He entered the Dragon Fury team while he was in Longwei. In the future, every year, the Dragon's Fury Special Forces would always be in first place. No matter how hard Gong Jiuxiao and his Dragon's Might Special Forces fought, no matter how hard they worked, they would at most be called the eternal second place in people's idle conversations. So he hated the person who always suppressed him. The eternal second place. Although this title was also a kind of affirmation, Gong Jiuxiao was not satisfied. When Su Yun was fired and left, he felt that his chance had come, but fate still played a joke on him. The Dragon Fury team actually saved the medical team that was kidnapped in Eastern Europe and West Asia by themselves. They also found the national treasure that had been lost for many years in the Golden Triangle, the Buddha's head of the Thousand Buddha Mountain. All of this made Gong Jiuxiao know that this year, he still had to bow down to the Dragon Fury team. What made him even angrier and more unacceptable was that the person who suppressed him this year was not Su Yun, but Shadow Dragon Huolei Tang. Why were the people who entered the Dragon Fury team so lucky? This was the fuse that really ignited the jealousy in Gong Jiuxiao's heart. Now, Su Yun appeared at the most critical time and boosted the morale of the Dragon Fury team. In the martial arts competition in a few days, Gong Jiuxiao's confidence was once again crushed by Su Yun. There was a good saying, in a battle between experts, confidence may not guarantee victory, but without confidence, one would definitely lose. How could Gong Jiuxiao, whose confidence had been destroyed, not hate Su Yun? Although Su Yun could be said to have no enmity with him and had never had anything to do with him, he suddenly didn't want Su Yun to have an easy time. Since Su Yun was better than him in everything, then he would make Su Yun suffer more than him. Boss, the leader Yin of Dragon's Fury is here to see. Tang Zhao hurriedly ran to Gong Jiuxiao's office, but before he could finish his words, Su Yun had already reached out and pushed him aside, striding into Gong Jiuxiao's office. Gong Jiuxiao was shocked. Speak of the devil, and he would appear. He was just thinking about it, but he didn't expect Su Yun to suddenly appear. It was really evil. After Tang Zhao was pushed away, although he was unhappy, he still didn't dare to act rashly in front of Su Yun. He was very clear about what kind of person Su Yun was. He would rather offend his boss than offend Su Yun. This was probably the master that their Dragon Brigade couldn't afford to offend the most. It wasn't that he would turn hostile, but once he was provoked, the entire Dragon Fury team would turn hostile. If the Dragon Fury team wanted to mess with you, they wouldn't go to the bar or Weibo like the brainless fans, but they would play with you for real. Su Yun pointed to a chair by the wall and said with a smile, "Seeing that the guest is here, you didn't take the initiative to invite him. Mad Dragon, is this how Dragon Might treats its guests?" Without waiting for Gong Jiuxiao to speak, Tang Zhao obediently brought the chair over and placed it behind Su Yun. If it was someone else, he would have already opened his mouth to fight back, but today he was exceptionally well behaved. Seeing his subordinate flattering him, Gong Jiuxiao glared at him fiercely. "It's my people who are not sensible. I hope that the older brother will forgive them," Gong Jiuxiao said. "But moving the chair is such a small matter. It's fine if you do it yourself. It's not that my people are not sensible. It's just that I've never had such an arrogant person come here." Su Yun chuckled. If he said that he was arrogant, then he would really show him how arrogant he was. After sitting down, Su Yun lifted his feet with a bang and propped them on Gong Jiuxiao's desk. Propping up the chair's front legs, he leisurely swayed. Obviously, he had a domineering expression. Gong Jiuxiao's face immediately became unhappy. Leader Yan, what do you mean by this? You have to stand properly, you have to sit properly. Don't you understand this little rule? Don't call me Leader Yan. Su Yun waved his hand. Just call me Su Yun. I'm no longer part of the army, and I'm not some Yan Long. Standing properly and sitting properly is for you stupid soldiers to hear. It has nothing to do with me. I'll do it however I feel comfortable. Even if the emperor comes, he can't do anything about it. But this is my office, I can do anything about it. Gong Jiuxiao's voice was full of resistance. Su Yun revealed a provocative smile. I said that the emperor can't do anything about it, but I didn't say that you can't do anything about it. But I'm afraid that you don't have the ability to do anything about it. Why don't you try? Gong Jiuxiao suddenly clenched his fists. Su Yun, what do you mean? You came to my office for no reason, spoke rudely, and acted provocatively. You don't really think that I don't dare to do anything to you, do you? Even if Lieutenant General Wang Yi is your Shizuan, if you cause trouble, I'm afraid he can't protect you. Don't talk nonsense. Su Yun was a little impatient. He took out a pack of cigarettes from his pocket, flicked one out, and put it in his mouth. He looked up at Tang Zhao, who was standing next to him. Although Tang Zhao had reminded himself 100 times in his heart that Gong Jiuxiao was his boss, and that he didn't need to bow and scrape in front of Su Yun, when he saw the request in Su Yun's eyes, he obediently took out a lighter from his pocket and lit the cigarette in Su Yun's mouth. If it weren't for the fact that he didn't want to lose face in front of Su Yun, Gong Jiuxiao would have fallen out with Tang Zhao long ago. This was simply a disgrace to him as a captain. Su Yun was still sitting in front of Gong Jiuxiao's desk in the same manner, leisurely puffing out a cloud of smoke. Mad Dragon, for the sake of so many years, I don't want to fall out with you. You know better than anyone why I'm here today. Tell me, what do you want? I, Su Yun, will definitely give you as much face as I can, so I hope you won't make things difficult for me. I don't understand what you mean. You're the one who's looking for trouble, and you're the one who's making things difficult for me. I'm already very grateful that you're not throwing my face, let alone giving me face. Gong Jiuxiao's heart thumped. At this moment, he was basically sure of Su Yun's purpose for coming, and he was also basically sure of the identity of the two girls he had detained. Su Yun was still leisurely smoking the cigarette in his hand. I always thought that all the brothers in the Dragon Brigade were sensible people who liked to speak frankly. I didn't expect that you, Mad Dragon, weren't. The veins on Gong Jiuxiao's forehead throbbed. He thought about it again and again. At that time, the people who knew that he had captured the two girls were all his men. It was absolutely impossible for anyone to betray him. Now that Su Yun said this, it must be a guess. If he admitted it, then wouldn't Gong Jiuxiao be afraid of him? Su Yun? Say it. Su Yun unceremoniously flicked the cigarette ash to the ground. Don't waste my time. I've already said it so clearly, and you're still pretending in front of me? Do you think that I've been away from the Dragon Brigade for too long, so you don't remember what kind of person I am? Su Yun's words were like sharp swords, and Gong Jiuxiao's heart more or less felt a little weak. Tang Zhao's Adam's apple moved, and he swallowed a mouthful of saliva. He secretly looked up at Gong Jiuxiao. The thing that Captain Yan Long of Dragon's Fury couldn't accept the most was other people touching the people around him. Yesterday, the two girls that boss had put under house arrest had said that they were here to find Su Yun. They had obviously violated Su Yun's taboo by locking them up. Tang Zhao's small movements were caught by Su Yun. Su Yun smiled slightly and said to Tang Zhao, Wind Dragon, if your captain has forgotten what kind of temper I have, then you should remind him, not cover for him. In my dictionary, those who cover for others are guilty of the same crime. Su Yun had directly shifted the spearhead to Tang Zhao, and Tang Zhao really couldn't take it for a while. If Gong Jiuxiao hadn't given him a stern look, he was afraid that he might have really trembled. Yan. Leader Yan. We really don't know what you mean. Tang Zhao swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Since this matter had already been committed, then even if he died, he would rot in his stomach. If he admitted it, then wouldn't he, Su Yun, eat the people of Longwei alive? Su Yun snorted. Well then let me ask you, when T-Rex left his post yesterday, did you go to the Dragon Brigade's door? When Tang Zhao heard this, he quickly lowered his head, afraid that his eyes would betray him. And he had to admit that he didn't dare to look at Su Yun's eyes. That gaze was too terrifying, multiplying the pressure he felt, and he couldn't look directly at it. Gong Jiuxiao coughed lightly to ease the tension in his heart. Su Yun, we are no longer on the same side. You have no right to ask about our matters. Although you have been expelled from the Dragon Brigade, you should know the rules of the Dragon Brigade. We are the country's secret department. We have no right to report what we do to you. Mad Dragon. I don't want to give up until I see the Yellow River. I don't want to give up until I see the coffin. Su Yun threw the cigarette, but in his hand directly on the ground, suddenly stood up and stepped on it. Although you and I have not carried out any life and death missions together, in the end, we have been together for a mission for so long. If you really want me to fall out with you, then I have no choice but to be rude to you. Su Yun suddenly stood up, startling Gong Jiuxiao. He thought that Su Yun was going to make a move just now, and was completely mentally prepared. As long as Su Yun dared to make a move, then he would definitely accompany him. But Su Yun didn't make a move immediately. I will give you 10 more seconds to think about it. If you still insist on going about things the wrong way, then I will have done my duty. But I will say the ugly words up front. I will definitely have a way to make you tell the truth, no matter the price. Chapter 5:15. Su Yun waited quietly for 10 seconds, and the smile on his face became more and more evil. Well, I've done what I can. I'll only ask you one last time. Are you going to return my people to me? Guanglong, you know very well that even if those 2 girls trespassed into the Dragon Brigade, you have no right to put them under house arrest. Even if they came in to look for me, how do you think the higher-ups can punish them? I'm already the one who's been fired. But you're different. You know very well how big a mistake it is to put Huaxia citizens under house arrest. It's very likely that because of this matter, you can only hang the military rank on your shoulder forever, or even be directly removed like me. Which is more important? I think you should be very clear. Make a choice. Do you want to waste time with me, or take the initiative to explain what you've done? Yanlong, do you think you've won? Since we were young, you've always won everything. You're good. I'll never win against you. Gong Jiuxiao said, but this time I must win against you. You said I imprisoned Huaxia citizens without permission? Where's the evidence? Let me tell you, even if I admit it, so what? Where's the evidence? You have to pay attention to evidence. If you don't have evidence, don't talk nonsense. You forced me. Su Yun said lightly, I think I can definitely get fingerprints on the door. Moreover, Yu Marin will testify for me. Gong Jiuxiao snorted. Why would Dr. Yu testify for you? Don't call her so intimately. Do you think Dr. Yu will still look at you after you leave the Dragon Brigade? Su Yin, wake up. It's not your world now. Why would Dr. Yu testify for you? You think too highly of yourself. Su Yin heard the strong jealousy in Gong Jiuxiao's voice. She's my woman. So what if she testifies for me? Do you think my woman will testify for other men? Guanglong, don't jump to conclusions without knowing anything. Don't talk nonsense with me. Gong Jiuxiao was furious. What right do you have to say that Dr. Yu is your woman? Don't flatter yourself. Only the best of the younger generation of the Dragon Brigade was worthy of Dr. Yu. This was what Lieutenant General Wang Yi had said himself. You're no longer a member of the Dragon Brigade. You have no right. It's not up to you to decide if you're qualified or not. Su Yin deliberately ignited the fire. I'm just telling you that she's a woman who slept with me in the same bed. Do you think I'm qualified? I'm afraid you're the one who isn't qualified. Gong Jiuxiao found it hard to control his emotions. Bastard. If you dare to speak nonsense again, be careful that I won't be polite to you. You said that Dr. Yu is your woman. Then who are the 2 women who came to find you? You're so fickle. What right do you have to say that Dr. Yu is your woman? Su Yin had no intention of evading the question. Looks like you still admit it. Then let me tell you, those 2 are also my women. Guanglong, you should know my temper. How dare you touch the people around me? You must be tired of living. Leader Yan. Boss. Calm down. Don't be so agitated. If there's anything, we can talk about it. There's no need to make a big fuss. Tang Zhao was afraid. He could already see a huge spark between the two of them. Yanlong, this is my territory. It's not up to you to educate me. Gong Jiuxiao snorted. Look at the situation before you talk to me. Su Yin suddenly kicked the chair over. He walked straight to the window. He raised his hand and punched down. With a clang, the glass of the window shattered. With the sound of glass shattering, Gong Jiuxiao's anger became more and more unbearable. Su Yin dared to act like this in his office. He was too arrogant. Su Yin looked out of the window and placed the thumb and index finger of his right hand on his mouth. A loud and clear whistle, with a fluctuating tone, penetrated the entire headquarters of the Divine Dragon Brigade. With this whistle, Tang Zhao's face instantly turned pale. Gong Jiuxiao's expression also quickly darkened. They didn't expect Su Yin to use this move. In order not to lose too much face, Gong Jiuxiao slapped the table and said to Tang Zhao, "Go and call the brothers to gather. I want to see what Dragon's Fury can do to me." This time, it wasn't a one-on-one confrontation. Su Yun's whistle was known by the entire Dragon Brigade. But after he left, it hadn't sounded for a long time. This time, when the whistle sounded, all Dragon's Fury people were stunned. If they didn't know that Su Yun was in the headquarters, these guys would have turned hostile and thought that someone was playing with them. Boss's whistle. F***CK. Gong Sunlung was stunned. He completely forgot that he was training kickboxing. Hua Xiaolu kicked him hard on the head. He was dazzled and couldn't help but curse. Hua Xiaolu was still wondering why this guy was suddenly distracted. He suddenly reacted. Boss is calling for an emergency gathering. Qianfeng also stopped what he was doing. His partner was Fan Shuanger, so every time he trained, he was especially unhappy. He could only take a beating as a sparring partner, and he was not willing to really kick Fan Shuanger. Otherwise, he would definitely be scolded for being inhumane. Seeing Qianfeng's happy face, Fan Shuanger also knew that there was more to this whistle. "What's going on?" "Boss is calling us over," Qianfeng said lightly. "Let's call it a day. Do you want to come with us to see what's going on?" "Of course," Fan Shuanger said. "No matter what, I'm still a member of Dragon Fury team. You guys have gathered. How can I not go?" "Humph, you're not still treating me as an outsider, are you?" Qianfeng grinned. Fan Shuanger's words proved that she recognized Su Yun's position in Dragon Fury team. "Of course not. Let's go." Han Zhan and Chu Shi also stopped what they were doing, nodded to each other, and then rushed towards the direction of the whistle with everyone else. Facing this sudden change, Hua Leiting didn't say anything. He hadn't heard this whistle for a long time, and it was very familiar to hear it now. Since his brothers were all going, Hua Leiting, as the current team leader, naturally couldn't forget Yanlong's whistle. He had to go. However, the direction of the whistle was a bit strange. That was the Dragon Fury team's territory. Why would Boss be there? Of course, it wasn't only the Dragon Fury team that heard the whistle. This whistle also evoked many people's memories. Many people who weren't part of the Dragon Fury team were also curious about who blew the whistle. Curiosity drove some people to come forward to watch. Because of what happened last night, Yumarin had been resting in her room after sending Su Yin away. After all, it was very tiring. What she didn't expect was that after Su Yin left, the whistle that used to make her heart beat faster would suddenly sound. Obviously, there was an emergency. Otherwise, Su Yin wouldn't have whistled. Moreover, he was now a person who had been expelled. He wouldn't casually call everyone to gather, right? What exactly happened? This made Yumarin a little anxious. In the end, she chose to go and see for herself. Otherwise, she wouldn't be at ease. After all, she was the one who brought Su Yin in. She had to make sure that he could leave safely. If Su Yin got into trouble and couldn't leave, she wouldn't be able to explain it to Wan Qingshuang and Qinwan. Thinking of this, Yumarin quickened her footsteps. Like Yumarin, Wang Yi was sensitive to the whistle. He had single-handedly trained this group of brats since they were young. This emergency whistle made Wang Yi frown instantly. If this whistle sounded in the Dragon Fury team's area of activity, he wouldn't be surprised at all. However, this whistle sounded in the Dragon Fury team's area of activity. This made Wang Yi a little worried. Wang Yi originally wanted to get up and take a look, But in the end, he held himself back and stepped back. Some things were better left to them. If he came forward, he definitely couldn't cover up for Su Yun. After all, Su Yun was already expelled. No matter what, he didn't have the right to wander around the Dragon Brigade. He also didn't have the right to blow the whistle to gather people. No matter how you looked at it, Su Yun was in the wrong. This damn kid. If I don't cause him some trouble, I won't feel good. Sai, forget it. Let him be. Wang Yi didn't care. He couldn't do anything about it. After all, this guy hadn't been in the Dragon Brigade for long. Since he was leaving soon, he could do whatever he wanted for once. Anyway, he had always been so lawless. He didn't care about this time. During this period of time, he had been watching over the Dragon Brigade. The head captain wasn't around, so he had the final say in everything. Su Yun could do whatever he wanted. Wang Yi believed that he knew what he was doing and wouldn't do anything too overboard. Headache. Wang Yi didn't know how to deal with the aftermath of Su Yun's actions, but he still let him go. Gong Jiuxiao didn't expect that after Su Yun had left for so long, the Dragon Fury Team's members would be so sensitive to the whistle. They actually all rushed to the Dragon Fury Team's territory within 5 minutes. At this time, Tang Zhao had also gathered all the members of the Dragon Fury Team. In an instant, the two sides directly confronted each other. Not bad. Looks like you have some prestige as a captain. Su Yun smiled and suddenly jumped down from the window, landing in the middle of the two groups. Seeing Su Yun's sudden appearance, the Dragon Fury Team members who were already prepared didn't think much of it. However, the Dragon Fury Team members were completely shocked. No one dared to believe that the person who descended from the sky was actually Captain Yanlong. This was definitely something they didn't even dare to think about. Long time no see, brothers of Dragon Fury. Su Yun smiled and greeted them. Tang Zhao, who brought everyone back to the Dragon Fury Team branch, blushed a little. He didn't dare to look directly into Su Yun's eyes. Some of the Dragon Fury Team members who didn't know were very enthusiastic. They all greeted Su Yun. Hello, Captain Yanlong. We haven't seen each other for so long. You still look so good. Leader Yan, when did you come back? We all missed you. Hello, Leader Yan. Haha, what a surprise. Everyone was talking at once. Another surprise fell from the sky. Gong Jiuxiao also jumped out of the window that Su Yun broke. He stood in front of his group of members and said sternly, "It's really a surprise. Leader Yan came back on the first day, and he wants to show us who's the boss of the Dragon Fury Team. He even called all the members of the Dragon Fury Team here. If that's the case, then we Dragon Fury Team members can't be cowards. Brothers, don't you think so?" As soon as he said this, everyone was stunned. What was going on? Captain Yanlong came back to make things difficult for them? This wasn't a humiliation that a hot-blooded man could endure. Chapter 5:16. The atmosphere that was supposed to be reminiscing about the old days was instantly turned into a confrontation. Everyone in the Dragon's Fright Team was puzzled and confused. They didn't even know what was going on. Although Dragon's Might was inferior to Dragon's Fury every year, it didn't affect their fondness and admiration for Yanlong and Su Yun. Everyone in Dragon's Might was actually very envious of Dragon's Fury, because they had a good boss who won so many awards. Who wouldn't be envious? Moreover, Su Yun treated his subordinates differently from Gong Jiuxiao. Although he was very strict when he was angry, he was very harsh when he criticized and punished. However, the starting point was different, and the way they looked at the problem was different. Dragon's Fury's Yanlong thought from the perspective of his brothers. Even if he punished, it was for the good of his brothers. Gong Jiuxiao, on the other hand, didn't have such a starting point. He only thought about himself. As time passed, the people in Dragon's Might naturally became more and more envious of Dragon's Fury's brothers. Later, someone from Dragon's Might went to Wang Yi and asked to transfer the special forces. Although Wang Yi didn't agree, the matter still reached Gong Jiuxiao's ears in the end. Perhaps this was the fuse that caused him to be incompatible with Dragon's Fury. Since that incident, no matter whether it was big or small, as long as it involved Dragon's Fury, he was more concerned than anyone else. In his words, no matter who he and his Dragon's Fright Team lost to in the future, they couldn't lose to Dragon's Fury's people. This was the bottom line. Since things have come to this, I'll make it clear. Su Yin smiled slightly. Dragon's Might's brothers, don't blame me for coming to pick a fight with you today. We've been together for more than a year or two. Everyone knows each other's temperament. Since Mad Dragon dared to touch my people, it means that he's not afraid of me finding trouble with him. Today I've brought my brothers here. We're just waiting for an answer. Are you going to let them go or not? Everyone's eyes were on Gong Jiuxiao. Everyone wanted to know who he had detained in Su Yin to be able to make Su Yin go to such lengths. It must be known that if one were to cause trouble in the team and cause a group fight, it would not be a small matter once the punishment was handed down by the higher-ups. Deducting 3 years of welfare allowance or 3 months of confinement were all small matters. They were afraid that they would be directly stripped of their military rank and fired. Su Yin was no longer a member of the Dragon Brigade. He dared to do this because he had nothing to lose, but Gong Jiuxiao did not dare to do so. Similarly, the members of the Dragon Fury team did not have any concerns. This was not because of Su Yun's good encouragement, but because their hearts were all united. No one would be afraid at this time. Su Yin, do you think you can scare me by bringing Dragon's Fury's brothers? Gong Jiuxiao snorted and incited them. Brothers, your leader Yin has already been fired. He can run away after making trouble here, can you? You dared to make a move in front of Dragon's Might today. Do you know what punishment it means? He's dragging you down with him, harming you. Hua Xiaolu sneered. Who doesn't have a punishment on them? Mad Dragon, I realize that you're really a grandson. You're really good at sowing discord. Today I'll put my words here. Whatever our boss wants me to do, I'll do it. Worst comes to worst, I'll go out and follow my boss. With the first person taking the lead, the others also became agitated. Qianfeng grinned. That's right, I've F***king played enough. I really hope that the higher-ups will fire me. Boss is doing well outside. Brothers, no matter who gets fired, they'll have something to do immediately after they go out. What's there to be afraid of? In the entire Dragon Fury team, only Hua Leitang could still maintain his rationality. But at this time, no matter how rational he was, he wouldn't tear down Dragon's Fury's stage. Worst comes to worst, if they really fought, he, as the current acting captain, would have to bear one more punishment. In order to save Su Yun's face, paying a punishment was nothing. Compared with the valiant and high-spirited morale of the Dragon Fury team, the people of Dragon's Might were a little weak. They were not so open-minded. Compared to the punishment and expulsion once they started fighting, they would rather choose to remain silent. This was inseparable from the leader's leadership. Gong Jiuxiao had always been very strict with their discipline. Many of the members of Dragon's Might had never been punished in their lifetime, nor had they been locked up, so they didn't want to experience this feeling. On the other hand, the people of Dragon's Fury were much more mischievous. Except for Fan Shuang, who was a newcomer for less than a year, how many of the others didn't make mistakes? Even Hua Leitang and Han Zhan, who had always been the most rational and calm, had been punished many times in the past. After all, their leader was a bold leader, so it was normal for them to make mistakes. Although Dragon's Fury often did things that violated the rules, they were all harmless and did not violate the rules. In addition, their contributions were far greater than the small mistakes they made, so the higher-ups had always been accommodating to them. Today, I only have one spearhead, and that's your Dragon's Might captain, Mad Dragon. Su Yin said. As long as the brothers of Dragon's Might don't make a move, then we won't touch anyone. But if any of you don't have eyes and want to be in the limelight and go against me, Yin Long, then don't blame me for not being polite. I'll deal with you all together. After these words were said, everyone present had a clear idea of what to do. Both sides had a clear framework of what to do. Now it was up to both sides to see what they would do. Whose team was bolder, more united, and more dependent on their leader would be revealed soon. Looking at the people of Dragon's Fury surrounding them, the members of Dragon's Might had already begun to retreat. It was not that they did not dare to fight, but they were worried about how to deal with the aftermath of the fight. Besides, Su Yin said that Gong Jiuxiao detained his people, but Gong Jiuxiao had never explained this matter. If he really detained people privately, then it was a violation of the rules. If they still fought with Dragon's Fury's people because of the violation of the rules, then the punishment would probably be even more serious. Faced with all kinds of difficulties, the drums of retreat in the hearts of the members of Dragon's Might became louder and louder. After Dragon's Fury's people all approached, a member of Dragon's Might actually gave up and said, "I quit. This matter has nothing to do with me. It's your own business if you want to participate." Suddenly hearing his subordinates say that they wanted to quit, Gong Jiuxiao's head felt as if it had been struck by lightning. How embarrassing this was. This was Dragon's Might's territory. The other party's people were riding on their necks and *ting, but his own people actually said that they could do whatever they wanted, and that it had nothing to do with him. With the first person to speak, there was immediately a second person to quit. "I don't want to participate either. I don't even know why. After this fight, I'll be punished for no reason. It's really not worth it." When the second person to quit opened his mouth, the others naturally followed suit. Scattered people from the 4th and 5th bureaus all said, "Boss, you should settle your personal matters privately. Don't involve us. Detaining people is already a violation of the rules. Boss, if you bring your brothers to fight with Leader Yan again, then you really want to harm your brothers." Everyone was talking at once. One after another, they all wanted to quit. No one stood up to speak up for Gong Jiuxiao. Gong Jiuxiao couldn't stand it when his own people slapped his face. "Whoever King quits today isn't my Dragon's Might's people. Those who are afraid of trouble, all of you get lost. If you get lost, don't ever come back." With Gong Jiuxiao's anger, everyone was even more silent. Who could feel good about it? Dragon's Fury's people followed their leader to risk their lives. That was because they had their leader, Yin Long, who was so good to them and so responsible. But what about them? Their leader would give them death orders and use words like "get lost" to threaten them. This way, even those who worked for him would be unwilling to do so. Su Yin knew that there was no need for his brothers to do anything. Gong Jiuxiao's momentum was already gone. He shouldn't have said such words. It was too hurtful. They were all brothers in the same team, so they couldn't be treated as subordinates. They were all brothers. The leader was just someone who gave orders. There was nothing special about it. This was Su Yin's way of leading troops. That was why Su Yin could be so supported by his brothers. The first thing a king of soldiers should learn was respect. Su Yin knew very well that if he didn't respect others, he would definitely not be respected by others. No matter how high his position in the regiment was, and no matter how highly he was regarded by his superiors, he never behaved in a superior manner before his brothers. He treated them all the same, and regarded himself as one of them. When he integrated into the dozens of brothers in Dragon's Fury, he could truly feel that he was the soul of these people. Only by using his soul to command them could he obtain the greatest unity. Even in the face of punishment, none of them flinched because they were all protecting the same soul. The reason why Su Yin created such a mess today was to see if Dragon's Fury was still united. It was to educate Huoleitang and let him know how to integrate into a group. Huoleitang didn't let down Su Yin's good intentions. He could clearly feel that the reason he was so obedient to Su Yin was definitely not because he was the captain, instructor, or boss back then. It was because he had always treated him as a brother, and had never treated him with a high attitude. At this moment, Huoleitang finally understood the difference between Gong Jiuxiao and Su Yin. He also finally understood the difference between himself and Su Yin. The difference between them wasn't their so-called ability, but their way of leading troops. The word brother wasn't something that could just be said. It had to be proven through actions. The reason why Su Yin was able to obtain the support of all his brothers was because he had never said the word brother. Instead, he used actions to tell his brothers that he was their brother. Huoleitang had figured everything out, and he felt as if he had been enlightened. At this moment, Su Yin looked at him meaningfully. It was as if he was asking if he had understood his good intentions. Huoleitang could only return a grateful gaze. Su Yin would always be his captain, his boss, and his teacher. In contrast to Su Yin, ever since Gong Jiuxiao finished speaking, the dozens of people around him had retreated to the back one after another. In the end, the 3 or 5 people who stood beside Gong Jiuxiao had been hesitant. Even Tang Zhao and Ma Tingfei, who were usually the most loyal to him, had been shaken. Gong Jiuxiao knew that he had lost. He had lost without even fighting. He had lost too thoroughly. He had lost to the point where he couldn't even raise his head. Su Yun raised his hand with a whoosh. This was the tactical sign language they used to focus their attention. As long as Su Yun waved his arm, it would definitely hit wherever he pointed. Even if Gong Jiuxiao had great ability, he would definitely be instantly killed by the dozens of experts from Dragon's Fury. Unless he had the abnormal strength of the Sky Profound Realm. But that was an expert that only existed in legends. Chapter 517. Su Yun did not continue to give orders. He knew that Gong Jiuxiao had already admitted defeat. Some things should not be overdone. It was not easy for him to return to the Dragon Brigade. If he caused his brothers to be punished, he would really feel bad. Fortunately, Gong Jiuxiao was still the same as before. He would always drop the ball at the crucial moment. Of course, this was also considered as Dragon's Might's brothers giving Su Yun face. After all, Su Yun was now back in the Dragon Brigade. He was more or less a guest. Courtesy was the way to treat a guest. You win. I admit defeat. Although Gong Jiuxiao's expression was still unwilling, his voice did not betray him. He was sincerely convinced and could not even complain. Dragon's Fury's people not only gave him a sense of oppression, but also a sense of defeat that he had never felt before. He had lost. He had lost completely. However, after this incident, he also had an epiphany. It turned out that the way to convince his brothers was not to give orders, but to open their hearts to each other. Su Yun slowly lowered his arm. However, at this moment, Yumerin suddenly came to the scene. What are you doing? Yumerin did not know the situation at the scene. She shouted and barged into the crowd. Dragon's Fury's people knew about the ambiguous relationship between Yumerin and Su Yun, so they all avoided her. After all, she was their boss's woman in the eyes of their brothers in the army. Just like how Chang and the 3 tigers of Southern City treated Ruan Qingshuang as Brother Yun's woman. They would definitely not dare to disobey their boss. They would even listen to their boss's words more than they would listen to their boss's words. Su Yun frowned slightly. Why are you here? I have some personal matters to discuss with Mad Squad. Don't worry. You should go back and rest. Go back. I will take care of things here. Why are you looking for him? Are you going to lead them into a fight? Su Yun, you just came back and you want to cause trouble in the headquarters? Fortunately, only Lieutenant General Wang Yi is here. Otherwise, you will definitely be in trouble. Yumerin said sternly. Hurry up and leave. Su Yun smiled and said, I'll leave when I'm done talking with him. You can go back first. Dr. Yu, don't go. You can stay here and witness it. Gong Jiuxiao suddenly said. Leader Yan is looking for me to ask for someone. I just happen to need you to help me witness whether this is the person that Leader Yan wants. Yumerin was startled. She looked at Gong Jiuxiao in confusion, and then turned her head to look at Su Yun. What do you mean? She asked doubtfully. Sister Shuang and Wan were in his hands. Su Yun said indifferently. If my guess is not wrong. What? Yumerin almost cried out. What was going on? Ruan Qingshuang and Qin Wan were in Gong Jiuxiao's hands. What kind of mess did they make? In short, Yumerin was in a mess. She could not understand what was going on. Gong Jiuxiao turned to Tang Zhao and Ma Tingfei and said, Feng Long, Jiao Long, go and bring Leader Yan's 2 women here. Haha. Su Yun laughed disdainfully in his heart. Gong Jiuxiao asked Yumerin to stay, just to tell her these things. Because Gong Jiuxiao did not know what happened between him and Yumerin last night. He thought that he could direct a good play to turn the tables. Since he wanted to act, then let him continue. Anyway, Su Yun only wanted to get Ruan Qingshuang and Qin Wan. His request was very simple. It was not excessive at all. Yumerin's eyes widened. How could they be? Did they really find them? No way. The Dragon Brigade was so secretive. Ordinary people would not think of entering a factory. Moreover, there was a guard at the door. Ah. No way. Just in a short time? She suddenly remembered that when she brought Su Yun here, Hua Xiaolu, who was on duty, even forgot to close the door and followed her all the way to the medical department. During the whole process, Hua Xiaolu left for at least half an hour. Could it be that Ruan Qingshuang and Qin Wan are found here in this half an hour? Maybe it was just a short time when Violent Dragon left. Su Yin nodded. Qin Wan-er's brain is different from a normal person's. Sometimes she makes simple things very complicated, and sometimes complicated things are very simple in her eyes. While they were talking, Ruan Qingshuang and Qin Wan-er had been let out. It could be seen that the two of them were intact. Gong Jiuxiao should have treated them with respect. When the two beauties, whose appearance and temperament were not inferior to Yu Marin's, appeared, the scene almost exploded. There were almost no women in the Dragon Brigade. The only place with women was the medical department. The most beautiful Yu Marin was already taken in everyone's hearts. No one dared to have any ideas about her. Now, the sudden appearance of these beauties made them feel a little overwhelmed. In an instant, everyone's admiration and envy for Su Yin quickly swelled. Now, regardless of the relationship between these two beauties and Su Yin, being able to know such beauties meant that he was luckier than them. After seeing Su Yin, Ruan Qingshuang and Qin Wan-er finally breathed a sigh of relief. When these two people went to invite them and said that Su Yin had come, they were a little worried that they were lying. After all, they were not sure whether Su Yin had woken up or not. At this moment, they finally relaxed completely. At this moment, Ruan Qingshuang only had Su Yin in her eyes. There were so many people around her, but she did not pay attention to anyone at all. She directly plunged into Su Yin's arms and hugged Su Yin tightly, as if she was afraid that he would pass out again and leave her. They were envious. Except for Qianfeng and Fan Shuang, who had seen Ruan Qingshuang and Qin Wan, the others were all guessing the relationship between this beauty and their boss. Looking at the way this beauty relied on Su Yin, everyone conservatively estimated that there was an 85% chance that they had slept together in bed. Of course, it was impossible for Gong Jiuxiao not to be jealous, but this was the effect he wanted. The person he liked was Yu Marin. He wanted Yu Marin to know what kind of person Su Yin was. He wanted her to know that Su Yin had other women outside. This way his chances would be greater. But these were just psychological effects. Gong Jiuxiao did not know that these two women came to Yanjing from Xinjiang with Yu Marin. And Yu Marin was even clear about the relationship between Su Yin and these two women. In addition to yesterday's incident, Yu Marin now believed in Su Yin's character even more. After all, with so many beautiful women, he could still retain his Yang Tongzi Gong internal force. This was almost a fairy tale existence for any man. Qin Wan-er pretended to be calm and walked in front of Yu Marin. She smiled slightly and said, "Dr. Yu, thank you. I've troubled you. At that time, I doubted you. I'm really sorry. Fortunately, you are here. Otherwise, we really don't know how to save him. By the way, what method did you use?" Yu Marin's face turned red. "I don't have any method. This is all thanks to our leader. I was just an assistant." "Oh." Qin Wan-er's face showed an expression of understanding. Her eyes happened to meet Fan Shuang. Fan Shuang smiled in a friendly way. Qin Wan-er was also very excited to see an acquaintance. She hurriedly pulled Ruan Qingshuang. "Sister Shuang, look who it is. It's Shuang. I'm here too." Qianfeng was not to be outdone. This was a great opportunity to show off. He wanted to let everyone know that he, Qinglong, also knew these two beauties. "You are here too." Qin Wan-er was obviously very surprised. Ruan Qingshuang woke up in Su Yin's arms. She saw that there were so many pairs of eyes looking at her. She was really embarrassed just now. Qianfeng smiled. "This is our army. Of course I'm here. I should be the one who is surprised. How could you?" Hua Xiaolu also understood. Yesterday, someone really came in at the gate. No wonder Gong Jiuxiao told him that. Fortunately, the person who came in was someone Su Yin knew. Otherwise, it would be really troublesome. "Sister Shuang, Sister Wan-er, long time no see." Fan Shuang stepped forward and hugged them. She asked the question that Qianfeng did not ask just now. It was also the question that everyone was wondering. "Why are you here?" Ruan Qingshuang did not know where to start. She looked at Qin Wan-er. Qin Waner shrugged helplessly. We didn't mean to break into your place. I'm a police officer. I also know the importance of confidentiality. If you want to blame someone, you can only blame Su Yun for being a disappointment. He suddenly fainted, and we really had no choice. Doctor Yu had already done a bloodletting treatment for him once. She said that she could only bring him back here for treatment. Xinjiang is so far from Beijing, so we were worried, so we came with Dr. Yu. Ruan Qingshuang helped to explain. Of course, Dr. Yu didn't bring us in. She asked us to get off before we arrived. She didn't violate the rules. We found it ourselves. Now that we know that Su Yin is fine, we are ready to go now. It's okay. I brought Su Yin here. It's also against the rules. Yu Marin smiled slightly. There are no outsiders here. You don't have to worry about people talking. Hey Qianfeng looked at Gong Jiuxiao. And insinuating insinuations, he said. Who said there are no outsiders? If there were no outsiders, why would you put my two Jiejie under house arrest for the whole day? Aren't you just waiting for an opportunity? Now the opportunity is here. Go and tell Violent Dragon that you didn't guard the door properly. He doesn't care about this punishment anyway. Gong Sunlung said. Even if Violent Dragon will be given a second-level punishment for guarding the door, then Captain Kwang will definitely be given a first-level punishment for imprisoning Huaxia citizens. Don't. In fact, this captain is very good to us. Ruan Qingshuang was soft-hearted. He didn't put us under house arrest. He also helped us. At least we weren't found out by the leaders. In this case, Dr. Yu won't be punished, right? Fan Shuanger smiled bitterly and said to herself, I've heard of good intentions doing bad things. This is the first time I've encountered a good thing with bad intentions. Gong Jiuxiao's face turned white. He was really embarrassed. He originally wanted to use these two people to threaten Hua Xiaolu, but he didn't expect that these people were brought by Yu Marin. This was really embarrassing. Kuang Wang, thank you for helping me take care of them. Yu Marin's thanks made Gong Jiuxiao blush even more. He couldn't bear it at all. These two women are. Gong Jiuxiao was not reconciled. He didn't understand why Yu Marin was so friendly to them. Couldn't she see that their relationship with Su Yin was a bit too ambiguous? Without waiting for Yu Marin to explain, Su Yin stepped forward and explained. Didn't I say before that these two are my women? If you dare to touch them, you're going against me. Why, you still don't believe me? Gong Jiuxiao was confused. Then why are you with Dr. Yu? She. Chapter 518. What a domineering answer. Even so, none of the three women stood up to deny it. This silent acquiescence made everyone admire Su Yin to the point of prostrating themselves before him. He had so many women on his left and right, yet he didn't mess up. It was really hard to understand. The only person in the world who could do this was their boss Su Yin. Cough. Suddenly, a light cough attracted everyone's attention. Instantly, the atmosphere quieted down. Standing in front of them was Wang Yi's secretary, Du Wen. Don't be fooled by the fact that this guy wore glasses and looked like a gentleman. He was still a member of the previous generation of special forces who retired due to injuries. Don't be fooled by the fact that his left leg was fitted with a prosthetic leg. When it came to fighting, he was definitely not careless. At the very least, it wouldn't be a problem for him to deal with 3 to 5 little brats. Wang Yi didn't keep Du Wen by his side to help him fight or be a bodyguard. He didn't need him. He just felt that Du Wen was smart and had enough combat experience. He could stay and help him. Moreover, Du Wen was a bachelor and didn't plan on getting married. It didn't make sense for him to retire from the military. Wang Yi knew that Du Wen was like him. He was the kind of person who would die in the military for the rest of his life. As the captains of Dragon's Fury and Dragon's Might, Hua Leitang and Gong Jiuxiao naturally stood in the front row and took the lead to salute. Hello, Secretary Du. I'm fine. You guys don't seem to be fine. Du Wen smiled faintly. The reason these brats were so respectful to him was because his fists were strong enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't be afraid of an old man like him who had retired from the army. Su Yin chuckled. Everything is fine, everything is fine. Brother Du, why are you here instead of by the chief's side? Du Wen's face darkened. Yanlong, you really have guts. It's your second day back, and you're already planning to stir up trouble in the Dragon Brigade? Fortunately, you were unconscious yesterday. Otherwise, you'd be in trouble today. Look at you. Su-Yun smiled brightly. You must be blaming me for not visiting you after I woke up, right? TSK, it's my fault. It's my fault that I'm not clear-headed. If I'm awake this time, I'll definitely bring you 2 boxes of smothered donkey to drink. This Duwon was from the Meng clan, so he especially liked to drink this kind of high-alcohol liquor. Su-Yun was catering to his taste. 5 years ago, Su-Yun had followed Duwon to Inner Mongolia for a mission. Therefore, he had dined in the yurt with Duwon. Therefore, he knew the saying of the 3 bowls of wine in Inner Mongolia. 1 bowl of wine after dismounting, 1 bowl of wine after entering the house, and another bowl of wine after dismounting. At that time, Gong Sunlung also went with them. This guy always thought that he could drink 3 to 5 liters, so he drank a bowl of dismount wine with Duwon. However, before he even reached the yurt, he began to complain that he was dizzy. He didn't even dare to drink the 2nd bowl, let alone the 3rd. In Gong Sunlung's words, this wasn't wine, it was F***king alcohol. Who was he trying to drink to death? But the people from Inner Mongolia liked this kind of liquor. For example, Duwon wasn't used to other kinds of liquor. He could barely make do with liquor with more than 53% alcohol, but those with 38% or 36% alcohol were like mouthwash in front of him. This was because the worst kind of liquor he usually drank in his hometown was smothered donkey with more than 68% alcohol. He was someone who even dared to drink 75% alcohol. Stop with the useless flattery. If you were sober, you wouldn't be able to come here. Duwon smiled helplessly. Alright, I won't talk to you anymore. Just now, Chief Wang Yi told me to come over and tell you that he won't hold you accountable for what happened in the past 2 days. However, you must leave the Dragon Brigade within 15 minutes. Because in 15 minutes, the brigade will be back. By then, it won't be so easy for you to leave. And these 2 girls who accidentally broke in, I'm afraid they won't be let go so easily. Chief Wang Yi gave you enough face, didn't he? Su-Yun nodded. Of course he understood. Once they heard that there were only 15 minutes left, everyone in the Dragon Fury team withered. But this was what Wang Yi said. No one could go against it. And when the brigade arrives, this matter won't be so simple. Boss, you should go. We won't see you off. Qianfeng was the first to speak. After he finished speaking, he turned around and left without hesitation. He knew what 15 minutes meant. There was no time to waste. After Qianfeng spoke, the others followed suit. Hua Xiaolu only said goodbye to boss and left. Hanzhan only said 2 words, take care. Looking at the leaving crowd, Fan Shuang also said goodbye to Ruan Qingshuang and Qin Wan. When she caught up with Qianfeng, she saw that the corner of this Iron Man's eyes were trembling. Su-Yun's eyes turned red. After Hua Leitang was the last to turn and leave, he rubbed his face fiercely and said to Gong Jiuxiao with a smile again, Captain Kuang, please be more polite to my brothers in the future. We are all one family. There is no need to be so tit-for-tat and fight to the death. If I did anything wrong in the past, please forgive me. Anyway, I'm not a member of the Dragon Brigade anymore. You don't have to be angry with me. If you have a chance to go to Xinjiang, find me at Xingkai Hotel. Gong Jiuxiao really didn't know how to face Su-Yun. If he said that he was a good friend, it was definitely not wrong to be a brother. He was really not reconciled. After all, Su-Yun still wanted to fight with him for Yumarin when there were so many beautiful women outside. However, if he were to become enemies with Su-Yun for the sake of beauty, he didn't think that they would be so distant from each other. In the end, he could only choose to wave his hand to signal Su-Yun to leave quickly. He didn't want to let the team come back and block the courtyard. At that time, he wouldn't be able to leave even if he wanted to. You should go back and take care of your body, Su-Yun said softly to Yumarin. He knew very well that Yumarin must have spent a lot of effort to break his body's extreme Yongboi Gong internal energy. As a man, Su-Yun didn't feel good about it. He owed Yumarin too much. Yumarin nodded, her face full of tenderness, and said, Don't worry, I'm doing well in the Dragon Brigade. You, on the other hand, must take care of your body. I will. Su-Yun nodded. Duwon raised his arm and looked at his watch. There are still 10 minutes before the team comes in. If you don't want to greet him directly, then don't continue to linger. Car key. Marin took out the car key and handed it to Su-yun. I've parked the car in front of the medical department. If you hurry up and drive away, there's still time. Su-yun ran to the medical department without saying anything, and said to Do-won while running, Brother Do, please take the two beauties to the main road. I'll be there in 2 minutes. Do-won smiled and nodded. This was a wise choice. If he let the two girls run with him, it would take at least 5 minutes. After all, ordinary people couldn't be compared to Su-yun, who had abnormal physical fitness. If this guy really ran 100 meters, it would be easy for him to beat Usain Bolt. However, the Olympic Organizing Committee would definitely seriously suspect that he overdosed on stimulants. They wouldn't even need to do a urine test to conclude. It couldn't be helped. This was too abnormal. No one would dare to believe it. When Do-won took Ruan Qingshuang and Qin Wan to the main road, a crazy Qian roared and screeched to a stop 50 meters in advance. The car stopped beautifully in front of the two. There were deep tire tracks on the ground. After Ruan Qingshuang and Qin Wan got in the car, Su-yun gritted his teeth and said to Do-won, Brother Do, you're usually by Wang Yi's side. I'll have to trouble you to take care of him. This old man is old now. No matter how strong he is, his body will age at this age. Tell him, don't try to be brave. There are so many little bastards under him that he can order around. Help me tell him that I hope to have a chance to drink with him next year. Tell him to drink less. His body is the capital to compete with me in drinking next time. I got it. I'll definitely tell him. Let's go. Do-won stretched out his right hand and said, 8 more minutes. Have a safe trip. Su-yun also reached out his hand and shook Do-won's hand through the window. He stepped on the accelerator and the black Qian rushed out like a roaring little monster. Hearing the roar of the engine, everyone frowned. The farther the sound was, the farther Su-yun was from them. The short reunion made them feel more regretful. Do-won looked at the deep tire tracks on the ground and called Gong Jiuxiao helplessly. You guys deal with this place. There are still 7 minutes. It's better to deal with it before the main team comes back. Or you can find a way to explain it yourself. After all, this is Longwei's territory. Gong Jiuxiao laughed helplessly. This was Su-yun's gift to him in the short 2 days he came back? Well, I'll do it myself. Thinking that so many brothers didn't support him today, his heart was still cold. Well, Su-yun really taught him a lesson on this matter, making him understand how to be a good leader. Just as Gong Jiuxiao was dealing with the tire tracks, Longwei's people gathered around and squatted down to clean with him silently. This was the first time that Gong Jiuxiao didn't order them to do something, but they took the initiative to do it. The way of leading troops, this question really needed Gong Jiuxiao to think about it carefully. Wang Yi sat in the office and said to himself, Hey, he said he would come back tomorrow. Why did he suddenly come back today? He really likes to do surprise attacks. He didn't even give me and my beloved disciple a chance to have a drink. So annoying, so annoying. At this time, Do-won had already returned to Wang Yi's office. He knocked on the door and walked in. Seeing Wang Yi beating his chest and stamping his feet, he smiled and said, Chief, don't sigh. I've already made an appointment for you. Tonight at the nearest Soho wine bar. Wang Yi's eyes widened instantly. No way, little Do. Who told you to make your own decision? There's definitely no chance tonight. We definitely can't go. Is what you said true or false? Really? I really made an appointment for you. Do-won looked a little embarrassed. Wang Yi shook his head helplessly. Well, then I can only miss the appointment. The main force rushed back today for a very important matter. The Japanese self-defense forces are trying to sow discord in the waters of Turtle Island again. It's Huaxia's New Year soon, if I'm not wrong. They want to give Huaxia an unexpected New Year's gift. If that's the case, then don't blame us for not being polite. They want to make arrangements first, so we have to be prepared in advance. Do-won also calmed down. Is it a first-level preparation? Chapter 519. Su-yun quickly drove away from the Dragon Brigade HQ before he opened the note in his hand. It was the note that Do-won had given him when they shook hands. Do-won was a straightforward person. Otherwise, Wang Yi wouldn't have kept him by his side. Duwen wasn't someone who liked to play dirty tricks. There must be a reason why he did this today. Just as Su Yin expected, the note Duwen gave him contained a line of words. Tonight at 9:30 p.m., at the Suhi bar closest to HQ. I've booked a table for you and Lieutenant General Wang Yi. Be there or be square. Su Yin was instantly touched by Du Wen's thoughtfulness. He knew that Wang Yi definitely had a lot to say to him. After all, the two of them hadn't seen each other for a long time. However, due to the rules of the army, Wang Yi couldn't keep Su Yin at HQ for too long. Therefore, Du Wen arranged a table for them at the bar. As for why he would write it on a slip of paper and secretly give it to Su Yin, it was because he was afraid that the moment he opened his mouth, the group of bastards from Dragon's Fury would hear it. If one of them heard it, he was afraid that tonight would be a big mistake for a collective violation of discipline. This group of people would definitely rather come back and be confined for 15 days and sneak out to Suhi to have a few drinks with Su Yin. Du Wen had always been good to Su Yin. Su Yin had always kept that in mind. This time, Su Yin was really touched that he would do this. Sometimes, the relationship between two people wasn't based on how much they talked, but on small things like this. Even Qianfeng, who used to follow Su Yin around all day, probably didn't know that Wang Yi actually had a lot to say to Su Yin. Since Du Wen gave Su Yin this opportunity, Su Yin certainly wouldn't miss this opportunity to drink and chat with Wang Yi. He used to be confused about a lot of things, and it was Wang Yi who enlightened him. Although he would occasionally call him Wang Yi and Su Yin were father, master, comrade in arms, and brothers who had gone through life and death together. Su Yin's first dangerous overseas mission was brought by Wang Yi. People who had gone through life and death together had different feelings. If it wasn't for Wang Yi blocking a bullet for Su Yin with his body, Su Yin would probably still be playing chess with the King of Hell. Even if he had a strong body, he would still be in great danger when faced with a sniper who could kill him with a headshot. Su Yin owed Wang Yi not only a life, but also too much. Zhang Taisui had made the right choice to hand Su Yin over to Wang Yi. Fortunately, Wang Yi had trained him for so many years. Otherwise, he didn't know what kind of foppish person he would have become. Seeing Su Yin holding the note with a faint smile, Ruan Qingshuang and Qin Wan looked at each other. Ruan Qingshuang couldn't help but ask, "Do men pass notes?" Love letter. Qin Wan said deliberately, "No way, Su Yin. I didn't expect you to have such a hobby. Are you gay? You're good. I didn't see it before. You can even subdue such a heavy taste. I admire you." Su Yin was in a good mood, so he didn't argue with Qin Wan. "We won't go back today. Since we're in Yanjing, let's have fun." "Sister Shuang, you haven't been to Yanjing before, right?" "Well, it was the first time." Ruan Qingshuang nodded. She really wanted to have fun for a day, but she was worried that Qin Waner would delay her work, so she asked, "How about Waner? Have you been here before? If you have, then let's not have fun. There will be plenty of opportunities in the future." Qin Waner knew that Ruan Qingshuang was careful, so even if she had been here when she was in elementary school, she denied it. "No, I haven't been here before. Now is a chance." Su Yin is considered half a local, so we have to let him do his part as a host. Ruan Qingshuang was in a good mood. "Really? That's great. Then let's have fun for a day?" "Of course." "It's getting late," Su Yin said. "I'll take you to eat the most authentic roast duck first, and then we'll go wherever you want to play. I'll definitely do my duty as a host. I'm too familiar with places like Yanjing. In short, if you want to eat or drink, if you want to see ancient buildings or natural scenery, you can count on me." As a man, he had to be so straightforward. The day trip to Yanjing was in full swing under Su Yun's lead. At this moment, the Divine Dragon team was so solemn that there was no sound at all. The atmosphere was so stifling that it made it hard for people to breathe. Once it involved the Japanese, everyone in the Divine Dragon team gritted their teeth in hatred. This was an old feud. It wasn't just the invasion of their ancestors. There was also the fact that Su Yun's previous captain had gone missing while carrying out a mission in Japan. This had always been a taboo for the Dragon Brigade. No one dared to talk about it. For every member of the Dragon Brigade, especially every member of the Dragon Fury team, this kind of grief was an invisible pressure. Anyone could guess that his disappearance must be related to a secret organization in Japan. It was impossible for ordinary people to trap him. Once he was trapped, he must have gone through all kinds of torture. The Japanese definitely wanted to know the secrets of Hua Xia's Dragon Brigade. However, no one in the Dragon Brigade was a coward. They would rather die in the 18 levels of hell than betray the organization. Therefore, there were many things that made people fantasize. The Japanese's secret department did not manage to find any information about the Dragon Brigade. This meant that the captain of the Dragon Fury team had endured all the torture. The Japanese were cruel and merciless. There was nothing they could not think of. They might even use cruel torture like sawing off the spine and filling it with lead. In short, after that, the person disappeared completely. Every time they thought about this, the atmosphere in the Dragon Brigade would become like this. This time, it was the Japanese who wanted to cause trouble again. This caused the soldiers to feel a heart-wrenching hatred. They wanted nothing more than to arm themselves and go to Japan to wipe out the entire cabinet. The news brought back by the main force made everyone clench their fists. The ships of the Japanese self-defense forces actually dared to provoke China so brazenly. The Japanese were just relying on the fact that they had the support of their godfather country. This time, the Dragon Brigade made everyone prepare for battle, so that they could go out and meet the enemy at any time. As long as the Japanese self-defense force dared to violate their principles, the Dragon Brigade's soldiers would attack with all their might. They could not be soft-hearted towards the enemy. The Japanese were like a snake. Even if a farmer was kind enough to warm it up, it would still bite the farmer when it woke up. Therefore, even if the Japanese's godfather country supported it, it would not help it wholeheartedly. It was only for its own benefit. Level 1 combat readiness was no joke. Therefore, no matter how much Wang Yi wished that he could go and have a drink with Su Yun, he could only retract his thoughts. It was even impossible for him to send someone to inform Su Yun about this. This was a state secret. According to the rules, Su Yun had already left the Dragon Brigade. Therefore, he had no right to know. At this point, Duan also knew that he had done something bad out of kindness. He only hoped that Su Yun would not blame Wang Yi for not being able to meet him today. He could only blame him. It was all his own fault. The night in Yanjing was beautiful. There were tall buildings everywhere, and the lights were waning. Wan Qingshuang couldn't help but sigh. The night was even more beautiful than Xinjiang. She was born in a small village. Even if she wanted to make a name for herself, she could only make it to a small county like Hudong City. There was a time when she didn't dare to think that she would have the chance to go to Yanjing or Xinjiang. But now, she was in charge of one of the most luxurious hotels in Xinjiang, Xingkai Hotel. She was staying in Xinjiang. What made it even more like a dream was that the first time she came to Yanjing, she came to a place that no ordinary person could enter in their lifetime. After the three of them had dinner, Su Yun drove them to Suhi Bar. He didn't choose this place because of the good environment or because there were many beauties here. It was because it was the closest bar to the Dragon Brigade headquarters. Therefore, the brothers would occasionally come here when they wanted to relax. Duan chose this place because he didn't know that there were other places. He had only been here before, so he could only book this place. You really came to a bar. In Xinjiang, you already have the bar on the 88th floor of Xingkai Hotel. How can you still drink the foreign wine in a bar? Qin Wan'er was speechless. I thought your taste would definitely grow to the point where it's either Lafite or Latour. Look at it now, it's still the same. Can you get away with Chivas or Jack Daniels? Su Yun snorted. The private room is already booked. There must be a minimum cost. We are here to have fun. If we want to have fun, then we should have fun. At least we should drink Hennessy VSOP, right? If you want to drink Chivas, then let's drink for 18 years. Today's on me. You guys can drink as much as you want. I'll pay. Why did he ask you to meet at this place? Wan Qingshuang said. There are so many rules in the army. Drinking is also a mistake, right? Why don't you find a cafe? It's also quiet. Su Yun grinned. I really don't know. If I had to guess, I suspect that this is the only place he knows and the only place he has been to. To the people in our team, this place is a landmark. Besides, I've already been fired. What's there to break the rules? Wang Yi is our chief. Who dares to stop him from drinking? Qin Wana rolled her eyes. So corrupt. Who are you talking about? We are paying for this out of our own pocket, not using the government's money. Su Yin glared. Don't splash dirty water on my Shizhuan. He is the most annoyed by this kind of thing. Be careful with what you say today, Lieutenant General. This is not a joke. This is a military rank that was earned through meritorious service. It's definitely not something that those people from the top get, because of their connections. The three of them walked in while talking. After Su Yin mentioned Du Wen's name to the waiter, he was quickly taken to a corner with a very comfortable position and view. First, 2 bottles of Hennessy VOSB, 2 bottles of Chivas 18 years old, 6 to 8 bottles of that Red Bull Pulse, freshly squeezed mango juice, freshly squeezed orange juice, and whatever snacks and fruit platter. Just look at them. Su Yin straightforwardly ordered the things. This kind of private room definitely had a minimum cost. The things he ordered were really not much in such a big place like Yanjing. Some of the nouveau riche second generations would drink here, and they would directly compare bottles with the royal salute. Sometimes, the cost of such a table would exceed 6 figures. Su Yin's things were at most a few thousand yuan. Chapter 520. Wan Qingshuang sat upright, and Qin Wana looked around in boredom. There's nothing to see in this chain of bars. It's the same everywhere in the country. Why did you bring us here to drink? Su Yin glanced at Qin Wana. Didn't you take Sister Shuang to the bar in Hedong? I thought you liked the atmosphere here. So I invited you here to drink. Sister Shuang said before she came that she would be the driver, and would only drink juice. Su Yin, you brought me here to mock me, didn't you? I only took Sister Shuang there once, and we ran into bastards because we were too beautiful. Qin Wan was not convinced. It was purely an accident. Don't make insinuations. It's boring. You know I'm making insinuations? You know that you and Sister Shuang are too beautiful to attract bees and butterflies. Then don't do stupid things. As a police officer, you can only show off in front of small gangsters. If you really meet big gangsters, they won't fall for your trick. Su Yin said lightly. Wan Qingshuang smiled and said, well, it's just going to the bar. If I didn't want to go, do you think Wan would force me to go? It's my fault. Don't always talk about Wan. Su Yin smiled and shook his head. He didn't have to make things difficult for Qin Wan. If something happened to Qin Wan, he was also worried. But Wan more or less had some self-defense ability, while Wan Qingshuang didn't have any. Soon, the waiter brought all the drinks, fruits, and snacks that Su Yin had ordered. Wan Qingshuang asked, why hasn't your teacher come yet? Maybe something happened in the team, and he needed to deal with it. Otherwise, he would have come long ago. Su Yin said, he's a very punctual person. Don't worry about that. After that, Su Yin opened a bottle of wine and looked up at Qin Wan. What? You want to get drunk with me today? Qin Wan clicked her tongue and said, come on, who's afraid of who? Wang Yi was not an outsider, and this was not a dinner party. There was no need to wait too long. Su Yin and Qin Wan began to drink. Qin Wan drank 3 glasses and started to talk a lot. Sister Frost, you can't drink today. This wine is quite strong. You have to stay sober. Otherwise, I'm afraid that Su Yin will have sex with us. Wan Qingshuang blushed because of Qin Wan's sudden words. What was this girl thinking in her head? Su Yin really wanted to kill himself. Qin Wan, what kind of person do you think I am? Even if I wanted 2 swallows, I wouldn't use such a despicable method. Getting a girl drunk is too wretched. Do you think I'm Brother Zongrui? I'm not as tasteless as him. There's no need to say more about what kind of person I am. Qin Wan spat. You really think too highly of yourself. Come on, let's continue. I don't believe that I can't get you drunk today. After a bottle of Hennessy was finished, Qin Wan began to shake her head. If she only drank without any drinks, she really couldn't hold on. An hour had passed. Su Yin was a little confused. Since they had made an appointment, there was no reason for Wang Yi not to come. Even if he really had something to do, he should have let Du Wen, who arranged this matter, come and tell him. Or even Do-won didn't have time. Then he could just find a brother in the Dragon Fury team to inform him. It wouldn't waste much time. But now there was no news at all. Would Wang Yi come or not? Su-yin didn't want to think about the worst, so he was ready to wait. At this time, Qin Wana received a call from Xinjiang. Because she didn't even ask for leave this time. She needed to go back to the police station to close the big heroin case, and she had to go to the police station tomorrow morning. Qin Wana was stunned. Wasn't it too sudden? At this time, the high-speed train had already stopped running. Because of the weather, there were no flights. Ruan Qingshuang could only take on the responsibility. Then we won't stay in Yanjing today. Anyway, we'll have a chance to play in the future. I'll drive tonight, you two sit. Can you drive through the night? Qin Wan was a little worried. Although there are few high-speed cars at this time, the speed is very fast. After all, it's not completely monitored. People who are familiar with the road dare to drive at 200 miles per hour in places where there are no cameras. Ruan Qingshuang nodded. Of course, no problem. With you and Su-yin in the car, I will be careful. Su-yin frowned. I'm afraid I can't leave. Why? Ruan Qingshuang was stunned. Qin Wana also widened her eyes. Aren't you fine now? Your leader has already ordered you to leave. Are you still reluctant to leave your childhood sweetheart, Dr. Yu? Ruan Qingshuang was also brought to this topic by Qin Wana's words. So you're going to say goodbye to Dr. Yu. But Wana's work is urgent. Aren't you very supportive of her heroin case this time? I think even if we go back, we can call Dr. Yu to explain. She will definitely understand. Su-yin breathed a long sigh of relief. I'm not talking about you, Marin. I'm talking about my old master. He is a man of his word. There must be a reason why he didn't come to see me today. I don't know why, but I have a bad feeling in my heart. I feel that something is going to happen. My sixth sense is telling me to stay. Ruan Qingshuang and Qin Wana looked at each other. Su-yun's expression didn't show any intention of joking. Well, you stay here. I'll drive Wana back. Ruan Qingshuang made a decision with the fastest speed. She didn't want to drag Su-yun down, and she didn't want Qin Wana to delay her work. Her decision was right. Even if Qin Wana was fine at work, Su-yun, who felt a little uneasy at the moment, would find a way to let them leave, because in this case, Su-yun couldn't take care of them at all. On the contrary, if Ruan Qingshuang and Qin Wana returned to Xinjiang, at least with Qin Wana's identity, no one would dare to provoke her and Ruan Qingshuang. Okay. Su-yin nodded. Since he had decided, then this was the arrangement. Sister Shuang, you must be careful on the road. Although the highway seems to be easy to drive, it is actually more dangerous, especially at night. When you return to Xinjiang, remember to tell me that you are safe. Ruan Qingshuang nodded. Don't worry. Qin Wana also stood up and prepared to leave. Then you be careful. This is Yanjing. I can't protect you. Don't cause trouble and get arrested by the police. Don't worry. Yanjing is a small place. I know it well. Su-yin smiled. Let's go. I'll walk you out. After getting up, Su-yin waved his hand to call a waiter. He took out 30 yuan from his pocket and put it in his hand. Help me look after the drinks. I'll be right back. The waiter smiled. Okay. Brother, don't worry. I promise to stand here and not leave. Although 30 yuan was not a lot, it could guarantee that the drinks would not be stolen or drugged. Some things were too complicated. Spending more money would be like buying a reassurance. Su-yin stood up and walked Ruan Qingshuang and Qin Wana out of the bar. The car was parked in the parking space on the left side of the bar. Su-yin reminded Qin Wana again. You'd better not fall asleep. You'll affect the driver. We've been playing for a whole day. Of course you'll be tired. Be careful. Remind Sister Shuang not to fall asleep. Qin Wana nodded. I won't fall asleep. I'll chat with Sister Shuang all the way to Xinjiang. Ruan Qingshuang smiled faintly. These two guys were really too much. They actually did not believe in her driving skills. After all, she had driven a 5-meter-long commercial vehicle in the most crowded urban area of Hudong. She was not as bad as they said, right? Yo, brother, you're not bad. You got 2 girls at once. And they're both so good. Suddenly, a cheeky voice came from behind the 3 of them. Su-yin turned around and saw a few foppish guys. There were a lot of foppish guys in Yanjing Circle. After all, this was the city where most officials and businessmen gathered. So the second generation was more powerful and rich than the other. Qin Wan'er looked at the young men and didn't have time to pay attention to them. She said to Ruan Shuang, "Sister Shuang, let's get in the car first." "Beauty, don't. A Qian is enough to get you too? Our value is too low, isn't it? Those who dream of having car sex with the tall, rich, and handsome men in the Qian are all vulgar. You two are different. You two are extraordinary." The leading young man teased. His clothes were absolutely dazzling. He had a Patek Philippe worth hundreds of thousands on his wrist, artificial leather shoes worth hundreds of thousands on his feet, and Hermes around his waist. A follower behind the foppish young man smiled and said, "My brother drives a Ferrari. Beauty, do me the honor and have a drink with us. My brother has been paying attention to you for a long time." "Get out!" Qin Wan'er angrily shouted and smashed into his face. Seeing such a hot-tempered girl, the foppish young man was obviously more interested. Qin Wan'er's scolding seemed to have aroused his fighting spirit. The foppish young man glanced at Su Yin and said, "Brother, we are all in the Yanjing Circle. We will see each other often. I am Fu Tian from the BBA Supercar Club. Let's be friends today. If you need help in the future, I will definitely help you." "Be friends with me?" Su Yin smiled and said, "Let's talk about the conditions. I'm not a good gay friend. I'm a straightforward person. The reason why I'm friends with you, bro, is because of these two girls." The foppish young man Fu Tian raised his eyebrows and smiled. "Everyone likes a fresh feeling. Sharing resources, hee. What do you think?" Su Yin nodded and thought, "Oh, this grandson is quite interesting. Sharing resources? He is obviously looking for trouble." Sure enough, when the foppish young man approached Qin Wan'er could not bear it anymore. She kicked Fu Tian to the ground. His scream tore through the night sky. Qin Wan'er's kick was really fierce. Seeing this, the foppish young man's followers all rubbed their hands and were ready to fight. But at this level, Su Yin could deal with them with one hand with his eyes closed. Su Yin calmly watched Qin Wan'er drive away. Su Yin pointed at the license plate number in the distance and said to Fu Tian, "She is not a girl in the Yanjing Circle. Next time when you want to cause trouble, look at her carefully." "Grandson, if you have the guts, tell me who you are. If I let you go, I will take your surname." Fu Tian covered his crotch and was still stubborn. This was probably the most incomprehensible thing about this group of rich second generations. Where did they get the courage to challenge others? Su Yin pointed at the bar behind him and said, "I am here today. If you want revenge, I will wait for you." Chapter 521. Su Yin returned to the bar again. The waiter who took the 30 yuan tip had been guarding the table for Su Yin. When he saw Su Yin come back, he still greeted him with a smile. "Brother, you're back. I haven't left. Everything is fine for you to see. Just now there was something that sister asked me to give you." After that, the waiter handed a necklace in his hand to Su Yin. When Su Yin saw the necklace, he was instantly stunned. He really didn't expect to meet her in this place. "Where is she?" Su Yin asked hurriedly. At the same time, he didn't forget to give the waiter some tips. It was really worth it to ask this brother to guard the table. The waiter took the money and pointed to a private room in the corner of the bar happily. Su Yin's gaze followed the direction of the finger, but he didn't see any familiar figure. Seeing Su Yin's expression, the waiter didn't care about how easy it was to earn money. He looked up and was also dumbfounded. The super beauty was still there. How could she disappear in the blink of an eye? Just when Su Yin and the waiter were both puzzled, Su Yin suddenly felt a cold wind from behind. No, it should be called a warm wind because there was no killing intent at all. It was all slowly warm. Too super elastic and invincible gentleness directly melted Su Yin's entire back. "Guess who I am? Ha ha ha. Stinky Su Yin, you actually dare to play with me and suddenly disappear. Do you still want to live? Don't you know that I hate it when people play with me?" The bell-like voice made Su Yin's heart go numb. It was a combination of Ling Jiling's coquettishness, Zhuo Meiyin's charm, Wan Qingshuang's gentleness, and Tang Jiu's caution. The waiter was so scared that he almost knocked over the wine glass on the table. When he saw the beauty suddenly appear, he patted his chest, bowed, and left with a smile. Su Yun's neck was strangled. He covered his eyes and sat down on the sofa in the private room. Sigh. It seemed that he really shouldn't have wandered around Yanjing. Now he was in trouble. One had to know that this girl was the famous female devil Lin Xuero. As for why Su Yun knew her, he could only blame her father, Big Boss Lin, who sponsored the Dragon Brigade tens of millions every year. Big Boss Lin offended someone in the foreign trade business. He was targeted and hired someone to go to the university to date his daughter Lin Xuero. Then he wanted to use this method to take revenge on him. This method was quite despicable. Big Boss Lin didn't want his daughter to know, but he couldn't directly send bodyguards to the university to deal with the other party's people. After all, the other party was in the dark. Just when Big Boss Lin was at his wit's end, he thought of Wang Yi. After all, Big Boss Lin was Wang Yi's first member of the Special Forces. When such a big thing happened, naturally he would look for Wang Yi first. Big Boss Lin retired from the army because he was seriously injured during a mission and completely lost his cultivation. Therefore, Wang Yi had to help him with this matter. To be honest, this wasn't a big deal. He just needed to find someone in the team to enter the university and pursue Lin Xuero first. This way, the other party wouldn't have a chance. Then he would slowly find out who the other party was. It wouldn't be too late to teach them a lesson. In the face of Big Boss Lin's idea, Wang Yi didn't dare to agree. He actually came to the army to find a young man to pursue his daughter. Perhaps only a weirdo like Dragon's Fury could think of such a thing. Let's not talk about whether Wang Yi agreed or not. Big Boss Lin came to the army to pick someone. After some consideration, he finally took a fancy to Su Yun. He felt that this young man was spirited and would definitely win the heart of his unruly daughter. As long as he could get his precious daughter. He even said that he would give Su Yun 20% of the shares of Lin's Solid Wood Home Furnishings. This was such a tempting offer. Lin's Solid Wood Home Furnishings could be said to be one of the most awesome solid wood home furnishings in Huaxia. Let's not talk about the terrifying fixed assets and the like. In the flagship store in Beijing, there were no less than 50 sofas that cost 300,000 yuan per set. This was strength. However, when Big Boss Lin chose Su Yun refused without hesitation at that time, saying that it was too boring and he really couldn't do it. Big Boss Lin didn't want to force people, so he could only reluctantly give up. Later, Wang Yi arranged for Qianfeng to do this, but this guy was so stupid that he didn't catch up with Lin Xuero. Instead, he was so annoyed by Lin Roshua that he wanted to die. If this matter was passed to Su Yun's ears, it would be terrible. This was related to the reputation of the Dragon Fury team members. If he couldn't even handle a little girl, then how could he, Su Yun, survive in society in the future? This matter must be done beautifully. It was true that Su Yun could take care of two people. When Big Boss Lin heard this, he was also very excited. He immediately went through the admission procedures for Su Yun. After Qianfeng was expelled, Su Yun took over. As a result, this matter developed so smoothly that Big Boss Lin almost fainted. The two held hands on the first day. On the second day, Lin Xuero took the initiative to kiss Su Yun's cheek. On the third day, she invited Su Yun to her home as a guest. After dinner, she pulled Su Yun back to her room and closed the door for more than 3 hours. Su Yun didn't leave the Lin family's house until 11 o'clock. Therefore, Big Boss Lin always suspected that Su Yun had dealt with his daughter. In this way, Lin Xuero and Su Yun got to know each other, and then got together. During the whole process, Su Yun never said anything like, "I want to pursue you," or "I like you," so that he could leave unscathed after the mission was completed. After 3 months of investigation, Big Boss Lin finally determined the enemy who wanted to plot against him. And then the matter was resolved. The mission was over, but it was difficult for Su Yun to get away. Big Boss Lin actually asked him to continue to be Lin Xuero's personal bodyguard. This matter was a bit of a scam. At least Su Yun thought so. He felt that Big Boss Lin's original purpose was not to find the enemy, but to find a husband for his daughter. Wang Yi felt sorry for losing face, so he could only let Su Yun continue to be wronged for a while. Moreover, Being a bodyguard for a beauty was not wronged at all. It made everyone feel that this was a good thing. If he didn't have the ability, he wouldn't be able to do it. However, Soo-yun couldn't stand this kind of love all day long, especially this group of students in the school who loved each other all day long. Just because Soo-yun was close to Lin Xuero, he got himself into a lot of trouble. It wasn't that the senior didn't like him, it was that the junior wanted to challenge his prestige. Some rich and powerful hedonistic sons even spent money to hire people from the society to deal with Soo-yun. It was all because Soo-yun was too close to Lin Xuero. However, the more this group of bastards treated Soo-yun like this, the more Soo-yun wanted to piss them off. Soo-yun was not careless. He fooled around with Lin Xuero all day long. Many tall, rich and handsome men were mad with anger, and many little otakus were envious to death. It was completely against the heavens. No, it should be said that it was against the heavens. The longer the matter was delayed, the more Lin Xuero couldn't leave Soo-yun. In the end, if it wasn't for that urgent mission, Soo-yun wouldn't have suddenly disappeared. Then in this urgent mission, Soo-yun's Dragon's Fury Special Warfare Team was betrayed by the senior police officer in the process of the mission, which led to an extremely critical moment. The enemy even mobilized helicopters to deal with them, which led to the death of Yin Long, which led to the outbreak of Soo-yun's inner demon, and almost killing the senior police officer. Finally, the whole thing ended with him being expelled from the Dragon Brigade. Since the outbreak of Soo-yun's inner demon, he didn't want to think about the past, so he never recalled Lin Xuero's matter. Today, he suddenly encountered Lin Xuero, which made him a little confused. What Soo-yun didn't expect was that Lin Xuero didn't get angry, but took the initiative to come forward and joke with him. If it was a normal woman, she would probably have rushed forward and slapped him twice just now, and then asked who Ruan Qingshuang and Qin Wana were. Lin Xuero looked at Soo-yun with a smile, and suddenly reached out and stroked Soo-yun's cheek. Why did you lose weight again? It must have been hard for you during this period of time, right? It's okay. Soo-yun felt a little guilty, and didn't know how to face Lin Xuero. Now that she was treating him so gently, he was really flattered. Why are you here? Lin Xuero smiled. My sister said that she saw you on the road today, driving with 2 girls, so she followed you all the way and then informed me. I mobilized all my sisters to help track you down. I know you're not an ordinary person, so I was afraid that it would be too easy to find out if I followed you alone. Soo-yun sucked in a breath of cold air. He really admitted that he didn't notice that he was being followed at all. After all, if a group of women followed him at different times, he really couldn't feel any murderous aura or long-hidden breath. He didn't expect that after so many years, he would fall into the hands of a little girl. Then don't you plan to ask me what the 2 girls do? Soo-yun was a little regretful after saying that. Wasn't he looking for trouble? She hadn't even asked, and he wanted to take the initiative to confess? Lin Xuero shook her head. I know you must be on some secret mission. I won't force you to talk nonsense. Damn, who told you that I'm on a secret mission? Soo-yun's forehead was covered in cold sweat. What mission? You arranged it for me? What are you talking about, Xuero? I haven't seen you for a long time. Why do I feel that your IQ has dropped? Lin Xuero glared at him. You're the one whose IQ has dropped. What are you talking about? Don't think that I don't know. My dad already told me that you're not ordinary people. I know that you won't talk nonsense when you're on a mission. Don't worry, I won't ask too much. Pfft. Soo-yun almost choked himself to death with a mouthful of salt soda. What is this boss Lin doing? Your dad is from that place after all. He doesn't even care about the confidentiality agreement. He wouldn't tell you everything, right? Looks like I guessed right. I was just saying it casually. Lin Xuero said, but looking at your reaction, you really do seem to have some secret mission. Is there anything that I can help you with? Don't worry, I have so many sisters. Suddenly, 7 or 8 girls appeared in the empty corner, and waved at Soo-yun. Soo-yun's head was about to explode. I say, do you know magic? There's someone here just because you said so. Fine, I give up. I haven't seen you for a long time. If you're not afraid that someone will come looking for trouble and can't leave like me, then sit down and have a drink. Lin Xuero nodded excitedly. Of course I'll wait for you. I'm not afraid of trouble. Are you on some secret mission? What are you doing? Is someone coming later? You'll know later. Suyin didn't have the strength to explain. If there's a fight later, don't splash my blood all over you. Chapter 522. However, Lin Xuero thought about it again. The members of the special forces had to be responsible for the interests of the people. How could they choose to fight in a bar with so many people? This didn't make sense. Suyin, you're fooling me again, right? You ordered so many bottles of wine. It's obvious that you're out drinking with your friends. Previously, the two girls talked with you for about an hour. Only one of them drank, and the other one didn't even touch a glass of wine. Obviously, she wanted to keep a clear head. Are you helping someone? The girl who drank was the client, right? And the one who didn't drink was sent by you to take care of the client. Miss Lin, your imagination is really too rich, so rich that it makes me prostrate myself in admiration. Suyin shook his head helplessly. Forget it, if you want to sit, then sit. Also, ask your sisters to come over. Don't stick your neck out and look over there. Don't you feel tired? I am not an alien. Do you have to be so curious? Of course, these sisters of mine haven't even seen you before. Of course you're very attractive. Lin Xuero said. Just now you were alone with those two beauties. You were as dazzling as you wanted to be. TSK, you think I don't know? You don't know how many people will be jealous of you. In the future, don't bring beauties to the bar to show off. You are not afraid of getting into trouble. After that, Lin Xuero waved her hand, and her 7 or 8 sisters immediately stood up, as if the long-awaited signal had finally sounded. They all got up and walked over, quickly came to the private room where Suyin was, and completely surrounded Suyin. It was really terrible. Su Yinkai laughed dryly. Just now when he brought 2 beauties, Lin Xuero said that he would be envied by others. Now she directly called over 7 or 8 beauties for him. Although not all of them were as beautiful as fairies, at the very least, their makeup made people want to look at them. This time, Su Yinkai was even more eye-catching. In the entire bar, there was no man who could be as lucky as him. Lin Xuero's group of sisters weren't pure either. They were the kind of people who had never seen such a scene before, so they were all quite generous. The most proactive one was Li Na with her permed hair. She directly wanted to sit on Su Yun's lap, which startled Su Yun so much that she quickly dodged. I know our Xuero has good taste. The boyfriend she found is not a playboy like Bobo's boyfriend. Lina smiled beautifully as she sat beside Su Yun. This is the first time we have met. We have to drink more later. Su Yun didn't say anything, but he didn't tacitly agree. Why did she suddenly say that he was Lin Xuero's boyfriend? Lin Xuero was too magnanimous. When he left, she didn't say anything. If a normal person saw him again, they would definitely scold him. A big liar, to death, right? However, it should not be that serious. After all, Suyin did not do anything to Lin Xuero, and it was not considered as cheating her feelings and her body. It was just following her father's request to control her, so that she would not be chased by other people with ulterior motives. However, Lin Xuero's reaction was too calm, as if she had not seen Su Yin for a few days. One must know that this matter had already passed for a year. As for this boyfriend, Su Yin really did not admit this title. Bobo was a girl with short hair. Of course I can't be compared to Xuero. What kind of joke are you making of me? Your boyfriend is friendly, your boyfriend is tall, rich, and handsome, okay? Who was it yesterday? Her boyfriend drank too much at the KTV and hugged the princess in the private room? Didn't we agree not to mention this? Bobo, aren't you rubbing salt on Lena's wound? Hearing Bobo's words, someone spoke up to help Lena out. Lena, on the other hand, was open-minded. That kind of trash, he even took advantage of the princess in the private room. TSK, I don't even fancy him. If you want a woman, spend money to find a prostitute. He touched the princess in the private room and did not even pay. I threw away this kind of tasteless person on the spot. Really? Bobo said in surprise. Su Yun frowned slightly. Lin Xuero could see that Su Yun did not like this topic, so she directly said, Okay, stop talking nonsense, come drink. I'm happy today, it's my treat, drink as much as you want. Su Yun replied faintly. This is my party. How can I let you treat me? After saying that, he waved at the waiter standing not far away. The waiter ran to Soo-Yun eagerly. Brother, do you have any other orders? Please say. Ask them what they want to drink. Whatever they want to drink, just serve it to them. Make sure they are full. Soo-Yun, it was not hard to see. Soo-Yun now had some weak emotions, of course. This kind of emotion could only be felt by those who had interacted with him. Otherwise, they would not be able to feel it. Lena and Bobo heard this and sighed, saying that Shuero's boyfriend was the real rich one. He even dared to say this. He was not afraid that they would order the most expensive wine in the bar. Of course, they would not cheat Lin Shuero like this. After all, they were good sisters with Lin Shuero, and they also knew that Lin Shuero was not playing around with Soo-Yun. Women could drink more than men. This was not a lie at all. These 7 or 8 women chatted and drank, and soon the 7 or 8 bottles of foreign wine were emptied. No matter what whiskey or vodka, they did not hesitate at all, daring to drink anything. Soo-Yun also knew the reason why they were gathered here. It was because today was Lin Shuero's 22nd birthday. She chose this bar. The reason was so simple that it made Soo-Yun's heart tremble. Soo-Yun had brought her here once before, and also told her that girls should never go to a bar by themselves. Even if they wanted to come, they should come to this bar, because he was too familiar with the boss of this bar, so they could be at ease and come boldly. Even if someone wanted to touch her, they could just mention Soo-Yun's name to the boss. It would definitely be settled. Just when the group of people were drinking happily, Fu Tian, who tried to provoke Soo-Yun outside, suddenly came in with people. In just a blink of an eye, the private room Soo-Yun was in was surrounded by a group of young people. Soo-Yun was very calm, still holding a wine glass, leisurely strolling in the courtyard. Lin Shuero's little sisters were not calm. There were too many big shots. All of them were famous hedonistic sons of rich families in Beijing. Just the BBA Supercar Club alone. There were a few famous hedonistic sons of rich families such as Fu Tian, Huang Xiaohan, Wu Xiuqing, Gao Wanya, Nieli. These famous hedonistic sons of rich families all appeared. Perhaps as long as it was a girl, seeing so many tall, rich and handsome men suddenly appear, they would be extremely shocked. Good brother, I said you were a talent. You really are a King talent. Not only did you pick up those 2 girls, you also prepared to turn this bar into your harem? After Fu Tian appeared, he heavily snorted. The kick that the girl gave him just now. He must find Soo-Yun to settle the account and get it back. Brother Tian, you're good. This place is not near the place we usually gather. How did you find it? I didn't expect the girls here to be so eye-catching. The corner of Gao Wanya's mouth raised, revealing a standard proud smile. And the girls here look like they are especially easy to pick up. Even a person who drives a Kian can be so popular. We all drive Ferraris. Lin Shuero obviously did not like this group of people interrupting her conversation with Soo-Yun. She slightly frowned, stood up and glared at them, and said, Who are you? Are you all crazy? Fu Tian snorted. It was really strange today. All the girls he met were so angry. Did they eat the wrong medicine? Or did their menstrual cycle mess up? Lena gently pulled Lin Shuero from behind, and whispered, This is Fu Tian. This group of people are all from the BBA Supercar Club. They are all very rich. Back then, when Haitian Silver Gun Little Tyrantly wanted to play with them, they did not bring him along. Nelly seemed to have heard Lena's words. He first laughed disdainfully, then said indifferently, What is Lee? You modified a 2005 BMW 325i to look like a BMW M3, and you want to sneak into our BBA Supercar Club? Haha, even if it is a real M3, it is only about $1 million. In our club, it is only the entry level. Of course, we will not bring him along. This little brat is not big, but his temper is not small. He always thinks that his parents are very capable. He does not know that they are at most a wooden club. This is Beijing. Even if his face is swollen, he is still a third-rate playboy. It is normal that he does not deserve to play with us. Soo-Yun finally spoke. Since even Haitian Silver Gun Little Tyrant is not worthy to play with you, then why do you want to play with me? Brother, with your ability, I know you are not an ordinary person, but let me make things clear. You should at least hand over the girl who kicked me, or else this is not over. Fu Tian insisted. I can't take this lying down. Didn't I ask you to look at the license plate? It is Xinjiang's car. Su Yun, if you want to find the person, go to Xinjiang. Seeing Su Yun's impatient look, Wu Xiuqing, who had the worst temper, became angry and flipped out on the spot. If you can't find the person, then you can only suffer a little today, kid. I left you some face. You are the one who did not want it. Without waiting for Su Yun to speak, someone stood up to help Su Yun. I was wondering who came to cause trouble in my club. Turns out it is the brothers who play with cars. The appearance of the bar owner, Situ Xing, made the big playboys of the supercar club somewhat at a loss. After all, Situ Xing could be called the top playboy in Beijing 10 years ago. Although he had retired from the underworld, there were still legends of him in the underworld. If you come to my bar to drink, you are all good brothers. If you come to my bar to cause trouble for my brother Su Yun, then you are not giving me face. Situ Xing first said to Fu Tian and the others, then turned to blame Su Yun. Brother, why didn't you say you were coming? You are not good enough. Su Yun helplessly shrugged. It is not that I didn't want to say, but these beauties can drink too much. I was afraid that you would insist on waiving the bill. I feel bad in my heart. You are open for business. Every time I come, you don't charge. I don't dare to say that I am here. I really don't care about this little money. Situ Xing laughed. Seeing that Situ Xing's relationship with Su Yun was so strong, Fu Tian and the others were really a little dumbfounded. The most bad-tempered Wu Xiuqing did not say anything. After all, Situ Xing had more than 20 professional bar thugs behind him. No one wanted to make a big deal out of it. After all, Fu Tian was the fuse of this matter. He had to stand up and say, Brother Fu Tian, I really did not know this was your bar. What I did just now was presumptuous. I will leave first. I will apologize to you later. After that, Fu Tian waved his hand and directly led his men out. Chapter 523. Lena, Bobo, and the other girls immediately worshipped Situ Xing. This person was so awesome that he could dismiss Fu Tian and the other super-rich second generations with just a few words. Lin Xuero looked at Situ Xing and asked Su Yun, Is this the boss Situ you were talking about? What do you think? I told you that if you want to drink in a bar, you can come here and look for boss Situ if you are in trouble. I wasn't fooling you. Su Yun, I have been good friends with boss Situ for many years. He never hesitated when I helped him. He is very kind. What do you think? He is handsome, right? Which one of your sisters doesn't have a boyfriend? Do you want to introduce him? I just broke up with you. Lena took the initiative. Her eyes were like glass balls as she said, Brother Situ, I've heard about you for a long time. I didn't expect you to be so young when I see you today. If it's convenient, can we exchange phone numbers? Situ Xing smiled bitterly and glanced at Su Yun. This guy really knew how to find trouble for himself. Su Yun saw Situ Xing looking at him and said, Brother Situ Xing, the girl is so proactive. If you don't do something, it won't make sense. She fell in love with you at first sight. I know you are shy, but if you spend more time with her, maybe she will fall in love with you. Fall in love with her. Everyone could only sigh at the profoundness of the Huaxia culture. They all looked at Situ Xing's face and wanted to know if he wanted to fall in love with her. Thank you for your kindness. Today, I will show you that all the drinks are on the house. As for falling in love with her, forget it. Haha, someone has already fallen in love with me. If my wife knows that I have another girl, she will definitely eat me alive. Situ Xing smiled. I even have a daughter. Let me go. Hearing that Situ Xing had a child, Lena was instantly hurt. Although she was occasionally infatuated, she knew very well that a woman should never be a mistress. Brother Situ Xing has helped us solve such a big problem. How can we ask you for free drinks? Lin Xuero said. Today it's all mine. De Xingge, sit down and have a drink with us. Situ Xing smiled faintly and shook his head. I really haven't helped you solve this problem. Although those brats will give me face in my territory and won't pull the rug out from under me, they won't give up easily. I'm sure those guys are waiting outside the door. As long as Su Yun takes you out of the bar, they'll still cause trouble. Su Yun helplessly smiled bitterly. He really didn't guess wrong. He knew that this group of brats wouldn't be so easy to deal with. How could it be so simple? It didn't seem like the style of the super second generation at all. A super second generation would be stubborn to the end. They would not turn back until they hit the wall. They would not give up until they reached the Yellow River. They would not shed tears until they saw the coffin. This was the personality of a super second generation. Why was he so stubborn? Because he was rich. In this day and age, everyone knew that there was nothing to be afraid of as long as one had money. Which of the senior officials who had fallen this year had not been led by the nose by someone with money? Therefore, money was the first of all evils. Even power had to be subservient to money. De Xingge, I don't think those guys can fight. Don't worry and go do your thing. I can handle the rest myself. Su Yin. After all, you're also a famous person in the circle of second-generation young masters in Beijing. As long as they don't cause trouble in your territory, you won't be able to say anything. Brother, you know me best. Situ Xing smiled faintly. But don't worry, I have a back door here. When you leave, tell me and I'll take you out through the back door. I know you don't want to argue with them. Haha, not to mention you. Even I don't want to fight with them now. It's just like children playing house. It's boring. Lena didn't think so. No way, I think they're scared. If they go through the back door, what about our car? That's right. Bobo also said, Shuero, didn't you say that your boyfriend is quite powerful? Why are you scared when you encounter something? Don't tell me he's just a coward with an empty appearance. Shuero, as sisters, I have to remind you. A man can be tall, rich, and handsome, but he can't be a coward. Lin Shuero's relationship with her sisters was not bad, but even so, when she heard her sisters badmouthing Su Yun, she couldn't stay calm. This was a matter of principle. Those who can't stay calm and fight with others because of a small matter are all little hooligans. I don't like that kind of man. That kind of man isn't brave, he's retarded. Bobo's boyfriend had once been sent to the police station because of a fight. So in her ears, Lin Shuero was mocking her. Naturally, she was unhappy. Shuero, don't speak with thorns. Did I speak with thorns? It's you who spoke with thorns, right? Lin Shuero snorted, looking like she was going to fight for the slightest bit. Who asked her to say that Su Yin was a coward? It didn't matter if it was her, but she couldn't say anything about her family's Su Yun. If anyone dared to say anything about her family's Su Yun, then they were going against her, Lin Shuero. Seeing the smell of gunpowder, Lena shook her head helplessly. You two don't have to go so far, right? Isn't it just because of a man? Don't tell me you don't want to be sisters anymore? I have good intentions. I don't want her to find a coward to be her boyfriend, but she doesn't appreciate it at all, and even goes against me. Bobo said unhappily in her heart. Alright, stop talking. Lena said. I'm just telling the truth. I came to the bar for a party, and now I don't even dare to go out. Humph. Bobo said. If you want to go through the back door, then go through the back door. I'll ask my boyfriend to come to the front door to pick me up. My boyfriend is not a coward. Su Yin didn't say anything. He didn't want to argue about these trivial things. It was human nature for girls to compete with each other to see which of their boyfriends was better. What they liked to do the most was to say that other people's boyfriends were better in front of their boyfriends, but in front of others, they would say that their boyfriends were better than anyone else. Situ Xing didn't want to participate in this matter. He nodded silently, and left after bidding farewell to Su Yun. Coming here every day was just his routine business. Situ Xing didn't just have this one nightclub. In fact, there were a lot of things to do at night, and it wasn't easy at all. Just now, Fu Tian and the other boys went out of Situ Xing's place, which was already giving Situ Xing face. So no matter what they did outside, Situ Xing wouldn't interfere, because he also wanted to return the face. This group of second generation in Beijing's circle cared about face the most, because they didn't lack anything since they were young. Su Yun certainly understood. Situ Xing had just appeared to help him resolve the matter, and he was already speaking for him. He was opening a business, not a brother who fought with him. Of course, he wouldn't continue to care about this matter. Su Yin, what should we do? Lin Shuero saw that Situ Xing had left, and she also felt a little uneasy. Su Yin smiled slightly and finally said, Since they are waiting for me outside, of course, I have to go out and say hello before leaving. Do you still want to drink the rest? Do you want to leave after drinking? Hearing Soo-yeon's words, Bobo quickly took out his phone and called his boyfriend, asking him to come to the bar to pick him up. A few other people saw Bobo doing this, and they couldn't help but secretly take out their phones. No one wanted to be humiliated later, so it was better to be prepared early. Seeing that everyone else had called their boyfriends, Lena helplessly shook her head. Who asked her to just break up? And just now, she wanted to flirt with Situ Shing, but she was hurt by his words that they already had a child. Sigh, so sad. About 30 minutes later, the clock had passed 12 o'clock in the morning. The wine that Situ Shing gave them was also finished. Soo-yeon slowly stood up and said, let's go, let's go. It's getting late. Let's all go back home and find our mothers. He believed that at this time, the group of boys outside were waiting anxiously. Soo-yeon's mind was in a mess now, because he was sure that the Dragon Brigade must be in trouble. Otherwise, Wang Yi wouldn't have missed the appointment. So now he was very unhappy in his heart. If anyone wanted to add fuel to the fire at this time, then don't blame him for burning him. Lin Shuero absolutely supported Soo-yeon. She stood up on the spot and held Soo-yeon's arm, and walked out with Soo-yeon. Wait a minute. Bobo suddenly said, My boyfriend hasn't come yet. Why don't you go first? It's been half an hour, do you think he's a turtle? Lena said, it's not the peak hour of the traffic. In half an hour, we can drive out of Beijing. Hurry up and go with everyone, or else you won't dare to go out alone later. Now not only Bobo's boyfriend didn't come, but also her boyfriend who called her boyfriend didn't come. This was really strange. The moment everyone walked out of the bar, they found out the reason. Bobo's boyfriend and a few other boyfriends who had rushed over were all at the entrance of the bar, surrounding Fu Tian and a few other super second-generation rich kids. They were humbly lighting cigarettes and begging to get to know them. Seeing her boyfriend's eunuch face, Bobo's face instantly shattered to the ground. Where's his moral integrity? How can he have no moral integrity at all? It was this group of people who made her afraid to go out. And now the reinforcements she brought over were wagging their tails in front of this group of people. This was really a big loss of face. Seeing Soo-yeon come out, Fu Tian and others threw away the cigarette butts in their hands and got up one after another. The few Ferraris behind them were particularly conspicuous. This was obviously a conflict caused by the second generations hitting on girls in the bar. Even a fool could see this. When Bobo's boyfriend saw his woman on the opposite side, his intestines turned green with regret. This matter shouldn't have come. Darling, come over quickly. Although Bobo was angry, she didn't show it. Fu Tian turned his head and glanced at Bobo's boyfriend and said to him, Is that your girlfriend? It can't be, right? It seems that you were called by the other party. Brother, today we are opponents. Just now you were flattering us here. Are you doing espionage? Ha 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 ha, how can it be? I'm just playing around. How can I really put that kind of woman in my eyes? In order not to offend Fu Tian, Bobo's boyfriend could only do this. Bobo's heart instantly turned cold. This blow was too heavy. Her boyfriend didn't dare to admit his relationship with her because he was afraid of offending people. If this wasn't a coward, then what was? This was a real coward. Soo-yeon, who still dared to walk out of the front door with Lin Shuero at this point, was instantly set off by Lin Shuero. Just like Bobo, the other three girls who called their boyfriends over also regretted it because their boyfriends were the same as Bobo's boyfriends. They were all cowards after facing Fu Tian and the other super rich second generations. Lin Shuero shook her head speechlessly. This society was really complicated. The only real man in her eyes was Soo-yeon. Chapter 524. Fu Tian walked to the front of Soo-yeon, raised his eyebrows and said, Bro, I didn't know that your face is so big that even Big Brother Shing can stand up and speak for you. However, Big Brother Shing also gave me face. In his place, I didn't do anything, which can be considered as returning his face. Now that you have come out, it's time for us to talk about this matter. I don't have time to talk nonsense with you. Today's trouble is because you asked for it. If you want to be beaten, just say it. Laozi's hands are itching now. Soo-yeon suddenly clenched his fists together, cracking his bones. Following that, he twisted his neck, fiercely stretched his muscles and bones, and said softly to the 20 to 30 people behind Fu Tian, "Together? This momentum is too domineering. It's as if one man can hold back 10,000 men. Overbearing. Extremely overbearing." Bobo's boyfriend had been flattering Fu Tian just now. He felt that if he could get to know Fu Tian, the super second generation of the BBA Supercar Club, it would instantly raise his status in his circle of friends. Just now, Fu Tian had been neither cold nor warm to him. Now was a good opportunity for him to perform. If he helped Fu Tian fight for face at this time, he might be able to break away from the third-rate playboy circle and integrate into the first-rate playboy circle. F***CK. Who the F***CK do you think you are? Challenging young Master Tian. Why don't you take a piss and look at your own face to see if you are worthy? Bobo's boyfriend strode forward, blocking in front of Fu Tian like a bodyguard. He pointed at Su Yun's nose and scolded. "Brat, if you have the guts, let's fight one-on-one. If you lose, I will call you Grandpa." Su Yun was quite speechless towards this kind of hothead. So in Bobo's eyes, this kind of stupid young man is a man with guts? Is he not a coward? This way of thinking was too childish. Nowadays, even junior high school girls knew not to have a crush on this kind of brainless idiot youth. Looking at this boob, he was already in his 20s, yet he was still so simple-minded. He was truly a typical example of a boob without a brain. When Bobo saw this scene, she did not say anything. Regardless of whether her silly boyfriend, who bullied the weak and feared the strong, could beat Su Yun or be tortured to death by Su Yun, she felt that it did not matter. Just let them be. Afterwards, she explained to Lin Xuero that this was called sisters were like hands and feet, and men were like clothes. If you did not like the clothes, you could throw them away and change them again. However, if your hands and feet had some small problems, you had to be considerate. You could not easily chop them off and change them again. While speaking, Bobo's boyfriend, or to be more accurate, ex-boyfriend, directly pounced toward Su Yun. With one look, one could tell that he was a little hooligan who had never fought before. His aura was fierce and murderous, but there was not the slightest bit of skill in it. The moment he came up, he wanted you to punch me, and I'll kick you. Let's see whose punch was more powerful, and who's more resistant. Su Yun was not as bored as him. He only slightly moved his body, and with a hook of his foot, he tripped his opponent's ankle. Then he used his hand to lightly tap the back of his opponent's head. Just like that, Bobo's ex-boyfriend had paid a heavy price for it. Because he had pounced too fiercely, and Su Yun had borrowed his strength, his opponent fell head first to the ground. He fiercely fell on his face, and with his mouth gnawing on the ground, his two front teeth had popped out 2 to 3 meters. With his mouth full of blood, he looked like a werewolf who had just eaten a person. Bobo really could not bear to look at it. She did not want to see such a person ever again in her life. Landed in a stranglehold. When Bobo's ex-boyfriend crawled up and saw his sorry state, he really wanted to tear off 2 pieces of flesh from Su Yun's body. It was a pity that his teeth had been knocked out, causing him to speak with a lisp, not to mention biting someone. Su Yun did not understand what he was saying, and was stunned for a moment. "Your speech is not clear, is there a translator?" Seeing this embarrassing fellow, Fu Tian felt helpless, and helped him translate. He said, "I'll fight it out with you." Landed in a stranglehold? That means, "I'll fight it out with you?" How is this still Chinese? It's practically an incisive language. Face branded, mud falling to the ground. Bobo's ex-boyfriend looked at Fu Tian with a pleading look. Wave mud, silver falling to the ground. Fu Tian helplessly rolled his eyes. Fuck, isn't he speaking Japanese? There's no way to communicate with him. It was a complete coincidence that he was able to understand what he was saying. It's already not bad that he was able to understand what he was saying. Can I still translate for you? Su Yun clapped his hands. Alright, this time I understand. He's saying, "Young Master Tian, help me, get your people to help me." Shit falling to the ground. Bobo's ex-boyfriend hurriedly added. Yes, help you. Don't speak anymore, this shit is already falling out. Su Yun was rather speechless. There's actually such a weirdo in this world. No, this person has already surpassed the concept of weirdo. He's awesome. Commonly known as Awesome Weirdo. Bobo's face was completely thrown away by this fellow. If there was a brick on the ground right now, she would definitely pick it up and smash this fellow to death without hesitation. Lena was really able to understand Bobo's thoughts. She turned around and found a brick from some corner and directly handed it to Bobo. Bobo's heart was filled with gratitude. Fu Tian glanced at Bobo's ex-boyfriend. "I say, where did you come from? Do we know each other? I'm just discussing something with my brother. Do I need you to mess with me here? If you're sick, go to the hospital. If you're sick, you need to be treated. Don't come out and scare people. I'm only forgiving you because your brain isn't good. If you mess with me again, do you believe that I'll cut you?" Scram. Trying to steal a chicken only to end up losing the rice used to lure it. Bobo's ex-boyfriend flew into a rage out of humiliation as he roared and pounced towards Suyin once again. This time, Suyin didn't even bother to dodge. Bobo suddenly appeared out of nowhere with a brick and directly knocked this fellow unconscious. Throwing away the brick in her hand, Bobo clapped her hands and said to Lena, "Sisters, from today onwards, we're all single again. Later on, let Shuero introduce us to a few guys like Suyin." "Of course," Lena said. "If she's not willing, then we'll snatch him." Lin Shuero was speechless. Did this group of love-struck fools really go crazy? Sigh, there's no saving them. Later on, she'd better buy 2 bottles of brainless pills from the website to nourish their bodies. Suyin looked at Fu Tian and the group of youths behind him and shrugged his shoulders. "If you want to fight, then hurry up and do it. Don't make me wait so long. I don't have much patience. Why don't you make the first move?" Fu Tian asked back. Suyin was really driven crazy by this naive guy. "Because if I make the first move, I'm afraid that you guys won't be able to hold on. Hurry up, let's go together and save some time. We have more people. If we make the first move, it'll seem like we're bullying you." Fu Tian was extremely confident. "You should go first. Then it won't be us bullying you. You're the one who asked for it." It's so awkward. Lin Shuero's brain was about to explode. Was there a difference? There was no difference. Su Yun's mouth slightly raised, revealing a brilliant and evil smile. He only said one word. "Okay." Padash. A loud slap sounded on Fu Tian's face. He didn't even see how Su Yun made his move, but the 5-finger mark on his face quickly swelled up. Just like Fu Tian, Huang Xiaohan, Wu Xiuqing, Gao Wanya and Nieli, who were standing beside him, only saw Su Yun's figure flash in front of them. Following that, they felt a sharp pain on their faces. Gao Wanya, who suffered the most, was even slapped to the point that she spun around and finally fell to the ground. Su Yun only used a minute to massacre Fu Tian's group. He slapped more than 20 people, until they were dizzy and disoriented. However, they didn't even manage to touch the corner of Su Yun's clothes. Seeing Su Yun acting cool, Lin Shuero naturally felt proud. Bobo, Lena and the others finally understood why Lin Shuero's boyfriend had mysteriously disappeared for a year. She was still in love with him. She probably couldn't find such a handsome man even if she held a lantern. The people who were awakened by the slaps started to resist. However, every time they tried to attack, they would be caught by Su Yun. Their end result was either dislocated or unable to lift their arms. They were also thrown out horizontally. The whole process only lasted for 3 minutes. Including Huang Xiaohan, Wu Xiuqing, Gao Wanya, Nieli, these big silk pants. More than 20 people were all thrown to the ground by Su Yun. Su Yun, on the other hand, was very relaxed. He didn't even need to use 1/50th of his strength to deal with them. It was too easy. Fu Tian was dumbfounded as he looked at the sorrowful swans in front of him. He was convinced, truly convinced. Usually, there were many fights, but most of the people didn't dare to fight back after hearing their name. Even if they met a few people who dared to fight back, they would rely on their numbers to ruthlessly beat them up. But today everything had changed. Fu Tian's values had undergone an earth-shattering change. He didn't expect that a single person would be able to deal with all of them. This guy was too abnormal. Who the hell was he? Why, do you still want to continue? Su Yun saw Fu Tian's eyes staring straight at him, so he shrugged and asked. Fu Tian's head immediately shook like a rattle drum. This brother? No, big brother, It was this younger brother who had eyes but failed to recognize Mount Tai. You must be the legendary expert. Everything that happened today was this younger brother's fault. I hope Big Brother doesn't take it to heart. In the future, this younger brother will be Big Brother's blood brother. I will be at your beck and call, be your cow or horse, without any objections. From today onwards, you are Fu Tian's big brother. In this Yanjing city, whoever dares to be disrespectful to you is disrespectful to me, Fu Tian. Su Yin made a stop gesture. Do you think it's funny? Who randomly recognized relatives with you? Scram, I'm not interested in becoming sworn brothers. Those who have really gone through life and death together, even if we don't become sworn brothers, we are still brothers. Otherwise, even if we become sworn brothers, it's just soy sauce. Big brother, I'm not joking. I really want to recognize you as my big brother. Fu Tian's words were especially sincere. But I don't want to recognize you as my little brother, understand? Su Yin was truly convinced. Could it be that young people these days didn't understand human language? Fu Tian really didn't understand human language. He turned around and pulled up the 20 or so brothers he called over. From today onwards, Su Yin is my big brother. My big brother is your big brother. Brothers, don't you think so? Big brother. Everyone used their actions to express their approval of Fu Tian. They were really beaten into submission. Su Yin was really about to collapse. Even if the heavens were joking, they wouldn't play with people like this, right? Su Yin, actually, it's not bad to have such a group of little brothers in Yanjing. Lin Xuero suddenly opened her mouth and whispered in Su Yin's ear. Look at these people. Fu Tian, Huang Xiaohan, Wu Xiuqing, Gao Wanya, Nieli, and the others are the leaders. Which one of them doesn't drive a sports car worth millions? Their family backgrounds are all very strong, and their connections are especially huge. Many people have racked their brains to become friends with them, but couldn't. Now that they want to be your little brother, why don't you agree? It's not like you'll lose a piece of meat. These words are quite reasonable. Anyway, you won't lose a piece of meat. Okay, but you can be my brother. Whatever I say is right. You can't go against it. Today, Su Yin said. Help me do something first. These beauties all drank wine. Fu Tian, arrange for someone to drive them home. Can you do it? Chapter 525. Under Fu Tian's arrangement, several buddies sent Lin Xuero's friends away one after another. Just as Su Yin was about to ask Fu Tian to send Lin Xuero away, Lin Xuero spread out her right hand in front of Su Yin. Are you not going to give it back to me? That's the only memento you gave me. If it's gone, what should I do when I miss you? Su Yin knew that she was talking about the necklace that the bar waiter gave him just now. Su Yin was deeply touched. As the only daughter of Big Boss Lin Xuero's jewelry box was never short of classic necklaces from luxury brands such as Cartier from France, Tiffany from the United States, or Bulgari from Italy. However, the necklace she had been wearing around her neck turned out to be the necklace that Su Yin had exchanged with her points for playing a shooting game in the amusement park. It was just a silver necklace, at most 7 or 8 grams, worth only a few hundred yuan. It was not even as valuable as the outer packaging of a necklace from Cartier. However, such a cheap necklace could stand out among Lin Xuero's exquisite gemstone jewelry that was worth millions. The reason was very simple. This was given to her by Su Yin. What Su Yin gave her was always the best. Some things could not be measured by money. Did you not expect that I would keep this necklace until now? Lin Xuero smiled slightly. Do you think that I should have thrown this necklace away long ago and then scolded you? I've thought about it, but I just can't do it. You've never promised me anything, so you've never broken anything. I don't have the right to label you as Chun Shimi because of my own wishful thinking. Fu Tian knew that there was nothing for him to do here. Others really couldn't get involved in the matters between men and women. Brother, I think. How about I leave first? Sister-in-law is a little emotional now. It's not good for me to stay here, right? Sister-in-law. Lin Xuero almost rolled her eyes in anger. Who are you calling sister-in-law? It's so unpleasant. Call me big sister. Yes, big sister, yes. Fu Tian's face was bitter. She couldn't vent her anger on him, right? You can go first. Su-yin finally spoke. He didn't know how much Lin Xuero wanted to say to him today. It was embarrassing to keep Fu Tian waiting. Even if Fu Tian took the initiative to be his follower, he couldn't take him too lightly. Fu Tian was overjoyed after receiving the order. He was about to drive his black Ferrari 612 away, when he was attracted by the roar of an engine in the distance. Just as he hesitated for a few seconds, four supercars suddenly began to brake in front of him, and stopped one after another. Su-yin sighed. Yanjing was indeed Yanjing. There were too many rich playboys, and each one was fiercer than the other. There were 4 cars with an orange Lamborghini at the front, followed by a black Aston Martin, a white Lamborghini at the back, and a white Maserati GT at the back. In front of the bull, the Maserati GT seemed a little docile. What kind of rich people were they? Su-yin really wanted to slap them. They were too good at reincarnating. They had to spend money the moment they were born, and they might not be able to spend it all in their lifetime. Such a meaningless life was too miserable. When could he be reincarnated into a family like this and experience this kind of misery? Oh hey, I was wondering whose 612 it was. So it was young Master Tian's. The young man who got out of the first car flicked his long hair. How about it? Are you interested in going for a few rounds? Fu Tian frowned instantly. Who else could it be other than the Song brothers from TSC? Song Dong, didn't you get into a car accident a week ago? Why aren't you dead yet? Oh, no wonder no one told me to burn incense for you. Song Dong was the eldest of the 4 cousins of the Song family. Although they were about the same age, Song Shi, Song Nan, and Song Bei were very obedient to him. The reason was simple. Song Dong knew how to bring them to play and find excitement. This kind of lucky bastard who was born with a diamond spoon in his mouth did not lack anything in life except excitement. That was why Song Dong was able to set a role model among his cousins. Fu Tian, your mouth is still so cheap. Song Nan, who got out of the Aston Martin, spat. Come with us if you have the guts. Whoever loses is a coward. Do you think we're scared of you? Who do you think you are? I don't think I've seen your name in the top 10 list of Beijing's supercars. Fu Tian clicked his tongue. Who's scared of who? He was in the top 10 list. When it came to other things, Fu Tian might not be very good at it. However, when it came to cars, he started when he was 14. Song Shi and Song Bei also walked forward and continued to provoke. Fu Tian, do you dare to bet with us? Let's bet on your Ferrari 612. If you lose, you leave the car behind. If you win, you can choose any of our cars. In terms of performance, Song Bei's cheapest Maserati GT was close to 3 million yuan. It was definitely not a bad car. However, in terms of price, Song Dong's Lamborghini LP700 was still more expensive than Fu Tian's Ferrari 612. Therefore, in terms of this bet, Fu Tian was not at a disadvantage. From the beginning until now, Su-yin and Lin Xuero had been ignored. It could be seen that Fu Tian and this group of guys had a deep relationship. Otherwise, these guys would not have besieged Fu Tian the moment they saw him. Fu Tian sneered. I don't dare? Are you kidding? Then let's go. What are you waiting for? Song Dong's face revealed a sinister smile. Su-yin suddenly said, You'd better not go. His words attracted the attention of the Song brothers. The 4 of them first glanced at Su-yin. Then their gazes paused on Lin Xuero for a moment. Song Bei had a nagging feeling that he had seen Lin Xuero somewhere before. She looked familiar, but he wasn't sure. After all, they had seen too many beautiful women on a daily basis. Song Dong looked up and down at Su-yin. None of his clothes were branded or custom-made, so his expression was very disdainful. Fu Tian, where did you find these followers? The girls you brought are not bad. Song Dong, F***ck off. This is my big brother. You'd better not fart in front of me. Fu Tian said angrily. Let's go out and deal with our business now. After that, Fu Tian turned to Su-yin and said, Big brother, don't worry. The 4 of them can't beat me. Today I will win this grandson's Lamborghini. If you like it, I will call you tomorrow and send it to you. Su-yin really didn't understand where this kid's confidence came from. The other side had 4 people. It was obviously a trap. He actually jumped into the trap. His IQ was too tragic. Then be careful. Soo-Yun knew that it was useless to say more to him. This kind of super second generation must hit his head against a wall before he regretted it. Let him go. It was just losing a car. It was only 5 or 6 million yuan. For these guys who had 2 or 3 million yuan of pocket money a month, it was just a drizzle. Fu Tian nodded vigorously. He turned around and gave Song Dong and the others a thumbs up, making a provocative gesture. Then he plunged into the car. Lin Xuero was stunned for a moment and said to Soo-Yun, "You really don't worry about him. The other side has 4 people and he is alone. It is obvious that they want to win his car. No matter what, he calls you big brother. Are you just going to watch him jump into the pit?" Soo-Yun shrugged his shoulders. "Then what should I do? You rich kids are very stubborn. Even a reasonable girl like you can't be dragged back by 10 yaks, let alone him. I think it's better to let him hit his head against the wall." "Then if he calls you big brother, won't he also jump into a big pit?" Lin Xuero said. "I didn't ask him to." Soo-Yun shook his head. Lin Xuero saw that Soo-Yun really didn't want to meddle in other people's business. She suddenly had an idea. "But I want that orange Lamborghini. What should I do? You played with me and suddenly disappeared, making me worry about you for so long. No matter what the reason is, you have to compensate me. I don't care. I want that Lamborghini. Either you buy it for me, or you help Fu Tian win it. Later he will give it to you, and you will give it to me." Soo-Yun was really completely speechless. Where could he get the money to buy a sports car of more than 7 million yuan? Even if he sold it, he probably wouldn't be enough to pay the purchase tax. "We rich kids are very stubborn." "That's what you said." Lin Xuero said. "If you can accommodate Fu Tian, then you can accommodate me." F***ck. Soo-Yun admitted defeat. He left Yanjing for more than a year. Why was it so troublesome when he came back this time? He stayed in Yanjing and didn't go back to Xinjiang. It was not to deal with these kids' rotten affairs. Fu Tian was taken by the Song brothers to the road where they were going to race. This was the road with the most twists and turns in Yanjing. Almost 80% of the road was a 2-lane road. Only a few roads could allow 4 cars to pass at the same time. Although the road was chaotic, people who often played cars were familiar with the track. It was very simple. The track avoided all the roads with surveillance and formed a natural racing route. Over the years, all the drivers in Yanjing knew that there were racing cars here. So after 12 o'clock, almost no one would drive here because it was too dangerous. Most people would rather take more detours than take risks here. There were too many car accidents here. Fu Tian had driven here more than 8 or 10 times. Naturally, he was very familiar with it. The Song brothers, who had also played here many times, were also very familiar with the track. 5 cars stopped side by side. Fu Tian stopped in the middle. Song Dong and Song Bei on his left and right rolled down the windows. Song Dong said, "Young Master Tian, I won't say more about the rules. I also found the notary. Get ready to start." A modified Mercedes-Benz came slowly from the opposite side. A man and a woman got out of the car. The man was Ma He, a famous car modification expert in Yanjing. The woman was the flag-waving woman he brought. When they were all ready, the woman held the checkered flag and made a ready gesture. After raising the flag, she paused for about 3 seconds and suddenly dropped it. The 5 cars rushed out with a roar. These cars could accelerate at a speed of 100 kilometers per hour. They could start sprinting in just 3 to 5 seconds. But from the beginning, Fu Tian knew that he was fooled. Song Dong and Song Bei on his left and right deliberately stuck to the center of him. This definitely scared Fu Tian and made him break out in a cold sweat. If something happened, it would not be a small matter. He would be overturned. While he was hesitating, Song Shi on the far left had already driven his white Lamborghini forward. Song Nan on the far right deliberately slowed down and drove his Aston Martin at the back. Chapter 526. By the time Fu Tian realized this, it was already too late. Song Shi's white Lamborghini was in the lead, nearly 2 spaces ahead, completely occupying the dominant position. Song Dong and Song Bei were still harassing Fu Tian all the way. Soon, they reached the narrow two-lane road in front. Fu Tian knew that he had to occupy the second place before that. Otherwise he would have no hope of winning. Perhaps Song Dong was very confident in his second brother, so when Fu Tian desperately tried to squeeze in front of him and Song Bei, Song Dong chose to give up. At the same time, Song Bei also chose to give up. The headlights of the three cars behind them changed left and right, and Fu Tian could not concentrate at all. On the narrow city roads, it was almost impossible to overtake. At least, an expert like Song Shi would not give him a chance. Every time he swerved at a corner, Song Shi would stick to the inner lane very tightly, not giving Fu Tian a chance to overtake him at all. Although it was easy for two supercars to drive more than 300 kilometers per hour on a straight road, the speed was greatly reduced in this kind of road. Therefore, the slight difference in the performance of the cars could be completely ignored. They were competing on skills. Whoever had more comprehensive skills would be able to survive in the cracks. However, the two-space lead was too big. Fu Tian and Song Shi's racing skills were about the same. In addition, there were three guys behind Fu Tian who kept playing tricks on him. They either shone their headlights on him, or took turns to accelerate when he turned, making him unable to concentrate. In this kind of unfair competition, Fu Tian was left further and further behind. Finally, after Song Shi left him 5 spaces behind, Fu Tian completely gave up. He lost a car just like that. Even if he was rich, he would be very unhappy to lose something worth 5 or 6 million yuan to his opponent. What's more, this Ferrari 612 was of great significance to Fu Tian. This time he lost more than a little. Just when Fu Tian was about to stop and admit defeat and stop running, the lights in front of the road suddenly flashed. A fiery red car came head-on. With a slight shake, the Lamborghini driven by Song Shi slammed into the wall in panic. At such a fast speed, the White Bull supercar flipped in the air. Just as it bounced off the ground, the fiery red car suddenly accelerated and quickly passed under Song Shi's bounced body. Facing the oncoming red BMW Z4, Fu Tian was really shocked, but it was too late to step on the accelerator. The two cars were too fast. Unless one disappeared, the other was doomed. But there was only a small intersection between the two cars, and it was a one-way street. At least, Fu knew that it was impossible for him to make a turn at such a fast speed. It's over. We're going to die together. Fu Tian had already thought of the same ending as Song Shi. In the next second, the BMW Z4, whose price and performance were far inferior to his Ferrari 612, made a beautiful drift into the narrow one-way intersection. When the red BMW completely disappeared in front of his eyes, Fu Tian quickly came back to his senses. The time was so short that it could only be counted in seconds. Song Shi's car fell heavily to the ground and continued to slide forward along the right lane. Fu Tian quickly turned the steering wheel, and the car almost touched the left wall to avoid Song Shi's car. This was the last intersection before the finish line. Fu Tian's taillights drew a beautiful arc as he crossed the finish line. Song Dong and the others stopped the car and quickly pulled out Song Shi, who was trapped in the car. Fortunately, the luxury car's safety features were good. Song Shi only suffered a few sprained joints. Afraid that the fuel tank would leak and cause an explosion, they quickly retreated. At this time, Fu Tian, who had crossed the finish line, had already turned around from another road and stopped in front of the Song family's cousins. Not bad. You're really lucky. You didn't die. Fu Tian had a proud smile on his face. I originally liked that car, but it's a pity that it's so rotten. I don't want a scrapped car. Song family's young master Dong, you must accept your loss. Do you still remember what we bet? Song Dong snorted. Less nonsense, Fu Tian. I'm telling you, don't be proud for too long. If you have the ability, let's compete another day. You're lucky today. Fine, I won't talk nonsense. You also don't talk nonsense. Fu Tian snorted. Leave your car keys and get lost. Tomorrow, arrange for your little brother to bring all the documents and transfer the ownership with me. If you want to act shamelessly, you can kneel on the ground and call me Grandpa 3 times. Then we'll call it quits. I won't spread the news that you went back on your word. Song Dong sneered. Who do you think I am? It's just a car. Let me tell you, if you win, you must be alive to drive it. Then Song Dong threw the car keys to Fu Tian. My people will be waiting for you at the car management office tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Fu Tian got the keys and felt great. Not bad. Song Dong, you're a man of your words. You didn't make me look down on you. That night, the Song brothers really couldn't take it lying down. They had lost a car, crashed another car, and in just a few seconds, they had lost something worth tens of millions. Who could take it? If their father knew that they were such a wastrel, he would definitely give them a big slap. Fu Tian proudly called Huang Xiaohan and asked him to drive Wu Xiuqing here to help him drive the Lamborghini back. Huang Xiaohan and Wu Xiuqing lived close to each other. When Huang Xiaohan and Wu Xiuqing heard that Fu Tian had won Song Dong's Lamborghini, they were overjoyed. The BBA Supercar Club was a loyal fan of Ferrari. On the other hand, the TSC Supercar Club, led by Song Dong, preferred Lamborghini. Therefore, the two groups of people didn't like each other. It was great to win Song Dong's car. While Song Dong and his buddies were waiting for the tow truck at the scene of the accident, Huang Xiaohan and Wu Xiuqing arrived. The two of them and Fu Tian drove Song Dong's orange Lamborghini away proudly. Song Dong gritted his teeth in anger when he saw his $7 million supercar being taken away by his rival. Brother Dong, are we really going to let this go? Song Shi's car was beyond recognition. He was extremely displeased. He couldn't take it lying down. F***CK. It's all because of that bastard car. It's already so late, and it's still driving around. Damn it. Song Dong couldn't help but vent his anger on the red BMW Z4. How dare a grocery cart speed here? Brother Air, don't worry. I'll find out who that stupid BMW is. I'll make him take responsibility for it. Brother Dong, Brother Air, we didn't even see the license plate number. How are we going to find out? Song Nan turned around and asked Song Bei, Brother C, did you see it clearly? Song Bei also shook his head. What the F***CK are you looking at? That car was too fast just now. In the blink of an eye, let alone the brand, if it weren't for the fact that there are people who want to buy a BMW Z4 every day and want to join our supercar club, I wouldn't have recognized that car as a Z4. Song Dong snorted. So what if I can't see the license plate number? I'll ask my connections to check all the surveillance cameras within 5 miles of this place. There aren't many cars around this time of the day. The red BMW Z4 is easy to find. I don't believe that there aren't any cameras that can capture them. If I find the license plate number, I won't let him go. Yes, I won't let him go. Song Shi also said fiercely. Although the BMW Z4 was already a very good sports car in the eyes of ordinary people, it was nothing in the eyes of these guys. In their eyes, the Z4 was an entry-level sports car, and they didn't have the money to show off. Little did he know that some people didn't have the same idea. There were also many people who liked this model. You scared me to death just now. Lin Xuero, who was sitting in the passenger seat, still had her heart thumping wildly. Just now Su Yin was simply crazy. He actually drove her to the opposite Lamborghini. If he was careless and made a mistake, it was very likely that he would end up like the Lamborghini, smashed beyond recognition. Su Yin didn't think so. It's mainly because your car is easy to drive. It can arouse my desire to drive violently. We're fine now. I'm the one who took the initiative to attack, so they must be the unlucky ones. Then if you were really given a Bugatti, wouldn't you go crazy? Lin Xuero was speechless. Driving violently is not suicidal. Who asked you to say that you want that Lamborghini? Su Yin. Tomorrow Fu Tian will send it to me, and I'll send it to you. Is that okay? As soon as he said this, Fu Tian called and told Su Yin to go to the vehicle management office early tomorrow morning. Song Dong's Lamborghini was going to be transferred. Fu Tian also asked Huang Xiaohan to find his uncle, who was the head of the traffic police team, tomorrow to help him get a better license plate number. As for the price, of course, it was not a problem. After hanging up Fu Tian's call, Su Yin shrugged. Tomorrow, come with me to transfer the Lamborghini. It's yours. Lin Xuero didn't really want that kind of car. She had no concept of cars and didn't have much of a hobby. This BMW was a birthday gift that her father insisted on buying for her last year. Big Boss Lin was so rich that he let his daughter choose whatever she wanted. As long as it didn't exceed 10 million yuan, there was no problem. But Lin Xuero chose AZ for that she thought was quite cheap. The best one was only 900,000 yuan. After a few discounts, it was only 1 million yuan. For Lin Xuero, driving this kind of cheaper car was less stressful. If she really wanted to buy a luxury car like a Rolls-Royce Phantom or a Bentley Mulsanne, she would have to have a driver. I'm not going. It's a filial gift to you, Lin Xuero said. It's up to you. Su Yin smiled bitterly. No way. If you didn't say that you wanted it, I wouldn't have gone and taken such a big risk. Do you really think that I like to look for excitement and play with my life? You're playing with me. Little girl, it's getting late. I'll take you home. Lin Xuero was stunned. And then? Then you go home and sleep. I'll go back too. Su Yin was speechless. Where are you going? Lin Xuero said. Don't go anywhere. Stay at my house tonight. My dad hasn't seen you for a long time. If he sees you, he must have a lot to say to you. Chapter 527. Look at how scared you are. Is that all you can do? Do you think my dad is a night owl like us? He has already gone to bed. Lin Xuero said. It's so late. You can't let a girl go back by herself, right? Aren't you afraid that I will be molested by some hooligans and perverts on the way? I am a pure girl. If you are really taken advantage of by a gangster because you are useless, can you afford to pay for it? Su Yin surrendered. He didn't want to argue with the chief debater of the Yanjing University debating competition. It was tantamount to hitting a rock with an egg. He was asking for schizophrenia. Okay. I admit defeat. I will send you home. But let's make it clear first. I will leave after I send you home. I definitely can't spend the night in your lady's boudoir. If that happens, not only will your reputation be ruined, even my reputation will be ruined. You are a boy. Lin Xuero asked in surprise. Then she looked up and down at Su Yin. After a long time she said, Come on, I don't believe it. How can there be such a pure boy in today's society? Don't fool me. Su Yin shut up. He couldn't continue to communicate with her. If he was really a boy, he could argue with her. But now he didn't have the confidence to speak. You can think whatever you want. Anyway, I am only responsible for sending you home. You can't expect me to sing a lullaby to coax you to sleep. Okay, at least send me home first. Lin Xuero agreed too quickly, so Su Yin didn't have any confidence in his heart. It seemed that there was a conspiracy. Su Yin was very sure of his sixth sense. There was a conspiracy. When he sent Lin Xuero home, the door of the villa opened and Boss Lin came out in person. Didn't you say that your dad is not a night owl? Su Yun's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. This was too much. She had to wake her father up in the middle of the night. Could it be that this person is not your father, but your father's long-lost twin brother? Lin Xuero rolled her eyes speechlessly. Don't talk nonsense. First of all, I don't know why my dad is waiting for me here. Since we've bumped into each other, let's say hello. What else could he do? He couldn't just turn around and run away, right? After Su Yin parked the car, he walked out angrily. When he saw Boss Lin, he frowned. Of course, there was a reason. He had never seen such a father. Brother Su Yin, we meet again, ha 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 ha. Big Boss Lin, Lin Shihai, was considered a big shot in Beijing, but he called Su Yin his brother. It was not for anything else, but because he had taken a fancy to Su Yin. He felt that Su Yin was the best candidate to be his son-in-law in all aspects. In the face of Lin Shihai's enthusiastic greeting, Su Yin could only smile apologetically. This guy was much older than him, and his daughter was only 3 years younger than him. Lin Xuero almost broke down. Dad, if you call him brother, what should I call him? You call him hubby. Lin Shihai raised his eyebrows. Developing so fast? Then I really can't call you little brother anymore. I have to call you young master. Big Boss Lin, you misunderstood. Su Yin. Xuero and I aren't like what you think. We're just don't explain, I understand. Who hasn't been young before? Lin Shihai was more open-minded. When I was young, I treated your aunt, Shuero's mother, the same way you treated Shuero. Hee, of course, you have to use some tricks to chase a girl. It's okay, you can take Shuero out for a drink. I don't mind at all. Others can't. Lin Shuero was stunned and immediately glared at him. Dad, did you send someone to spy on me again? Big Boss Lin didn't have any dignity in front of his daughter. I owe my ancestor. What do you mean by spy? Dad is protecting you. What kind of society is this now? It's so chaotic. Tell me, how can I be at ease when a girl like you goes out for a drink? Even if I'm at ease, how can my future son-in-law be at ease? Then Lin Shihai looked at Su Yun. Right, brother Su Yun, you must be worried too. Su Yun could only nod as he was brought in. Thinking that something was wrong, he shook his head vigorously. No, Big Boss Lin, Shuero is already so old, it's okay to let go a little. Of course, as long as you're with her, I'll definitely let go. Lin Shihai winked at Su Yun and said in a low voice, I thought you were going to get a room with Shuero today and not come back. I didn't expect you to be so daring to come back with her for the night. Su Yun felt wronged. Moreover, how could there be such a father in the world who wanted something to happen between him and his daughter? Lin Shuero heard what her father said to Su Yun, and was so embarrassed that her face turned red. Dad, what nonsense are you talking about again? Can you not create trouble for me? I'm creating trouble? Lin Shihai's expression was one of sadness. My ancestor. Your father still hopes that you can seize the opportunity to take down my son-in-law. If it weren't for the fact that you've been distracted ever since my son-in-law disappeared, I wouldn't have cared about you at all. I can handle my own matters, I don't need your help. Lin Shuero bent her waist and said, Dad, you've been involved in everything that happened to me since I was young. Do I need you to be in the middle even when I'm in a relationship? I finally understand why Su Yun disappeared. It must be because of you. No one would want their girlfriend to always have a father behind her, right? Lin Shihai felt wronged. Su Yun's disappearance must have been due to an important mission. Since he was the one who invited Su Yun, it was impossible for him to disappear because of him. If he wanted to blame someone, he could only blame Wang Yi. Su Yun was confused by this father and daughter pair. They didn't treat him as an outsider, did they? Some words shouldn't be said in front of him. How could he face them when they said it so bluntly? Now Su Yun couldn't leave, stay, stand or sit. Shuero, why don't you understand Dad's good intentions? Lin Shihai sighed and shook his head helplessly. Lin Shuero suddenly turned around and ran into the room, leaving Lin Shihai and the embarrassed Su Yun at a loss. That. Big Boss Lin, I think you're in a bit of trouble now. I won't disturb you. Su Yun said helplessly. Well, I'll go back first. If there's anything you need, contact me. We're brothers. If there's anything I can help, I'll definitely help. Lin Shihai grabbed Su Yun's arm. Brother Su Yun, I need your help now. I'm begging you. Other than you, no one else can do it. My daughter is very stubborn. Other than you, no one else can handle her. If you leave today, I'm really afraid that she'll commit suicide in her room. You have to help me. Commit suicide. It can't be that exaggerated, right? Su Yun stared at Lin Shihai with his eyes wide open. This father wouldn't joke like this. When you left without saying goodbye last time, she had already committed suicide once. Lin Shihai's expression suddenly became serious. Brother Su Yun, no parent would joke about their child's life. Su Yun was really embarrassed. Big Boss Lin, if you say that, I'll feel too guilty. This really isn't my fault. I didn't want it to be like this. If you want to find someone, find Wang Yi to be responsible. I came here to carry out a mission. I really didn't have any other thoughts. Lin Shihai was stunned and raised his eyebrows. Don't tell me that you and Shuero didn't develop feelings for each other over time? Develop feelings for each other over time. Su Yun gasped. Big Boss Lin, you can eat whatever you want, but you can't say whatever you want. This concerns your daughter's innocence. Was Shuero and I really just normal friends? Normal friends hold hands? Even people of my age don't believe in pure friendship between men and women, let alone young people of your age. Lin Shihai said, Brother Su Yun, a man must take responsibility for his actions. Su Yun smiled bitterly. But I didn't do anything. What do you want me to take responsibility for? Of course it's to be a son-in-law. Lin Shihai said. Today I'll tell you everything. My daughter hid in the room because of you. If anything happens to her, I won't let you off for the rest of my life. Only you can deal with this matter today. If you run away now, it's equal to taking my daughter's life as a joke. It's equal to intentionally killing someone. God, are you playing with me? Even if you're playing with me, you don't play with me like this. Su Yun's heart was really bitter. He didn't dare to come because he was afraid of bumping into Big Boss Lin Shihai. If he got mixed up with him, it wouldn't be a small matter. Su Yun really wanted to ask, Big brother, your daughter ran into the room because of you, right? What does that have to do with me? Lin Shihai used both the carrot and the stick. Seeing that Su Yun didn't react, he immediately begged, Brother Su Yun, I'll call you Go, okay? I only have one daughter. If anything happens to her, then I won't be able to live anymore. Whether or not my old life can continue depends on you. Big Boss Lin, you're forcing me. Su Yun's brain was about to explode. Forget it, I won't force you. Lin Shihai said. If you want to go, then go. If my daughter commits suicide because of you leaving without saying goodbye again, then I'll go with her. It's just that the Lin household that I built single-handedly is a pity. How about this, Brother Su Yun? My daughter is so sincere to you. I might as well pass everything to you before I leave this world. I'll go write my will now. Su Yun really wanted to kill himself. Okay, Big Boss Lin, I'm scared of you, okay? I'll go persuade her. I promise that nothing will happen to Shuero. You can live well too, okay? I really owed you in my previous life. Brother, with your words, I'm relieved. Lin Shihai immediately smiled. Don't worry, I only have one precious daughter. As long as you treat my daughter well, I won't treat you badly. Everything that I have now will be yours in the future. Su Yun shook his head modestly. No, Big Boss Lin, I really don't have time to manage your business. If you want to find a successor, then while your body is still okay, hurry up and give Shuero a younger brother. Then you won't have to worry about not having a successor. Lin Shihai's face was full of admiration. I knew my daughter didn't choose the wrong person. I, Lin Shihai, want a son-in-law like you who doesn't covet wealth. Chapter 528. Su Yun stood at the door of Lin Shuero's room and didn't know what to say for a while. He raised his hand several times but didn't knock on the door. Lin Shihai, who was standing a few steps behind Su Yun, stomped his feet anxiously. Why are you knocking on the door? It's not locked at all. Just turn the door and go in. Not locked. Su Yun felt that he had been cheated. Since the last time you left without saying goodbye, I changed all the locks in the house. I can't really lock them. I'm just afraid that my baby daughter will close the door and commit suicide again. Lin Shihai's bitter play started again. Su Yun quickly waved his hand to signal that he would go in immediately. He couldn't listen to him even if he was beaten to death. If he continued to listen to him, Su Yun would have to marry Lin Shuero today to satisfy him. After pushing open the door and entering, Su Yun closed the door behind him. He didn't wish for Lin Shihai to follow him in. If that happened, Su Yun wouldn't be able to stay here any longer. Lin Shuero saw Su Yun push the door open and enter. Her angry expression suddenly turned into a smile. Why didn't you leave? Didn't you say that you would leave after sending me back? I know my dad makes people speechless, but don't blame him. He did it for me. If it weren't for me, he wouldn't be like this. It's good that you can understand. Su Yun. Although your dad's behavior is a bit extreme, he is also worried about you. If you can understand, it's the best reward for him. Did he tell you that I tried to commit suicide or something like that again? Don't listen to his nonsense. I just couldn't sleep, so I took more sleeping pills. Lin Shuero explained. I'm not that weak. I admit that when you suddenly disappeared, I was a little absent-minded, but it wasn't to the point of suicide. Insomnia, everyone has it. Who knew that the sleeping pills were so strong that I couldn't wake up after taking them? Su Yun was suddenly speechless. Took more? How old are you? Lin Shuero's eyes were in a trance as she dodged to the side. Not much, just a little more than half a bottle. who asked me to have no reaction after taking 2 or 3 tablets at the beginning. I thought my resistance to drugs was stronger than the average person. Suyin was really speechless. Only half a bottle if he ate a little more? Not to mention a human. Even a cow would be suffocated to the ground and sleep for 3 days and 3 nights. Was there no instruction manual on the bottle? Even if you don't know Chinese characters, you should at least know Arabic numerals, right? You're rushing to meet the king of hell. Lin Xuero was not convinced. I didn't see it. Who wants to see the king of hell? Humph. I won't go see the king of hell before I'm sure you're dead or alive. Su Yin reached out and touched Lin Xuero's forehead. Did you eat too many sleeping pills and burn your brain? You're still talking nonsense now. I'm alive and well. Why do you have to confirm whether I'm dead or not? Now that I've seen you, I can be sure that you're not dead. I didn't see you before, so how would I know if you're dead or not? What if you're dead? What if you're... As she spoke, Lin Xuero suddenly sobbed. How would I know? Sob, sob, sob. You left without saying anything, sob. What should I do? I thought you would never come back. Sob, sob. All of a sudden, Lin Xuero's grievances for a whole year all burst out. Su Yin finally knew why Lin Xuero had been wearing the necklace he gave her. But Su Yin really didn't expect that his appearance at that time would bring such a big change to Lin Xuero. A top student of Yenjing University, a proud girl who was held at the top of the clouds by all the teachers and students, would actually be so infatuated with him without any regrets. To be honest, at that time, Su Yin came with the attitude of carrying out a mission, so he even forgot what he had said and done. But no matter what, the feelings he owed back then still needed to be repaid by himself. Su Yin had always thought so because he owed Lin Xuero this emotional debt. When he really faced Lin Xuero again, Su Yin was so apologetic that he couldn't even raise his head. But what should be faced had to be faced, and what should be repaid had to be repaid. Although he had avoided it for a whole year, Su Yin didn't forget his promise when he faced it again. I promise you that I will never disappear again, and that you will be able to contact me at any time. Su Yin said tenderly. But you also have to promise me that you will never do such a stupid thing again. People will meet many people in their life. There are men worthy of your love, and there are also bastards who are not worthy of your love. When you are not sure whether I am that bastard or not, you must not do stupid things. Lin Xuero was almost melted by Su Yin's gentleness. Of course I am sure that you are a man worthy of my love. I can also understand everything you have done. I am no longer the silly girl from a year ago. Don't worry. Su Yin smiled slightly. Being able to put down the emotional debt from a year ago, his heart really relaxed a lot. I guess your dad won't be able to sleep tonight, and I definitely won't be able to leave. Do you mind if I stay in your room for the night? Of course I don't mind. Lin Xuero said. I just have a lot to say to you. Some people are like this. When you can't see them, you want to avoid them, but when they are in front of you, you have a lot to say. Although Su Yin and Lin Xuero hadn't seen each other for a whole year, there was no barrier between the two of them. It could even be said that they talked about everything. Lin Xuero talked to Su Yin about her smooth admission to graduate school. She wanted to stay at Yenjing University for the rest of her life and continue to study. Even if she finished her doctorate, she still wanted to stay at the university because she liked the grass and trees of Yenjing University. The peace there made her feel particularly comfortable. Su Yin asked her what to do with Lin's furniture. Lin Xuero's witty answer was that she would leave it to him to manage. Su Yin smiled bitterly and told her about his medicinal cuisine restaurant in Hudong and Xinkai Hotel in Xinjiang. There was also the matter of the Sky Entertainment Group. These were all heavy responsibilities on his shoulders. He really didn't know if he could bear the heavy burden of Lin's furniture. Lin Xuero waved her hand and told Su Yin generously that if he was so busy at that time, she would rather give up her life at Yenjing University to help him manage Lin's furniture. At the end of the conversation, Su Yin and Lin Xuero could only giggle because Lin's furniture originally belonged to Lin Xuero's family. How did it become Lin Xuero helping Su Yin manage it? Lin Shuhai had been eavesdropping in the next room the whole time. In his heart, he kept saying that his precious daughter was too silly. She had let Su Yin take advantage of her so easily, and had even given up the family business. On the other hand, he admired Su Yun's willpower. A man and a woman were alone in a room, but they were still chatting and did not have the slightest intention of getting physical. Could it be that he had wronged him before? After Su Yun's sudden disappearance for the first time, Lin Shihai saw Lin Xuero lose her soul, and concluded that Su Yun must have done something to his precious daughter. But now, the more he thought about it, the more he felt that he was overthinking it. No matter what, Lin Shihai was still very satisfied with his future son-in-law. He naturally heard from Wang Yi that Su Yun left the Dragon Brigade. He didn't expect this kid to be able to do so well after leaving the Dragon Brigade, the biggest entertainment giant in Huaxia, the luxurious 5-star hotel in Xinjiang. This son-in-law was really good. People who didn't have some real ability couldn't do this. The night passed quickly. Su Yun and Lin Xuero were still not asleep, but the sky was already slowly brightening. If Fu Tian hadn't called to disturb them, they would probably have continued chatting. Big brother, that grandson Song Dong has already asked his subordinate to bring the car and the residents to the car management office. I'm here too. Is it convenient for you to come now? Let's settle the transfer of the car. Fu Tian smiled and said, take this car as a gift from your brother. Su Yun didn't stand on ceremony with him. Okay, then wait for me for a while. I'll go over now. After hanging up the phone, Su Yun asked Lin Xuero to bring her ID and go to the car management office with him. Lin Xuero didn't understand what was going on, and was brought to the car management office by Su Yun. Su Yun directly handed Lin Xuero's ID to Fu Tian. Fu Tian immediately asked Huang Xiaohan to take these things to his uncle to settle the matter. In a few minutes, this flamboyant orange Lamborghini became Lin Xuero's. Yesterday you said that you liked this car, then I'll give it to you. Su Yun smiled slightly. Yes, sister-in-law, I won this car from Song Dong's grandson. You can drive it for fun without worry. Fu Tian was very sensible and tried to flatter Su Qianxi. Huang Xiaohan suddenly saw Lin Xuero's red BMW Z4. He reached out and grabbed Fu Tian. Because Fu Tian had told them the story of the red BMW Z4 that suddenly appeared, his heart suddenly thumped when he saw this car. What? Fu Tian was stunned. Huang Xiaohan pointed at the red BMW Z4. Brother Tian, you told me yesterday that Qing Yaojin appeared out of nowhere. Could it be this car? Fu Tian's eyes instantly widened. Although he didn't see the license plate clearly, his sixth sense told him that it was definitely this car. It turned out that if Su Yun hadn't saved him yesterday, he would have been the one who lost. Not to mention giving Lin Xuero the Lamborghini, his Ferrari 612 would have been transferred to that bastard Song Dong today. Huang Xiaohan memorized the license plate number, and quickly ran to ask his uncle for help. He wanted to confirm if this car was the one that had appeared yesterday. Brother Yin, I'm a clear-headed person. You're so loyal. If I'm not loyal enough in the future, I'll be your grandson. Fu Tian patted his chest. I won't say much about what happened yesterday. I can't thank you enough. Song Dong is his old enemy. You helped me trample on him yesterday. I'll be grateful to you for the rest of my life. Su Yun waved his hand. Okay, as long as you know. Don't be so impulsive in the future. You fell for such an obvious trap. You'll lose this car sooner or later. In the future, you'll have to fight one-on-one. You even dared to fight with others. Aren't you looking for a beating? Fu Tian scratched his head. Hee, but I have you to help me. Why would I be afraid of that bastard Song Dong? At this time, Huang Xiaohan had finished checking. He ran out and said to Fu Tian, Brother Tian, boss really helped you yesterday. That BMW was driven by boss. You don't have to check, I'm sure. Fu Tian said. Chapter 529. Su Yun's worries were not superfluous. Song Dong had already found out the license plate number of the red BMW Z4. And now he was looking for it on the streets. As for the Lamborghini, he was willing to admit defeat, but he must find the red BMW that caused them to lose. After coming out of the car management office, Fu Tian arranged to have breakfast together, and then they all left. Without waiting for Su Yun to speak, Lin Xuero took the initiative to leave. I know you must have your things to do. How about this? I'll go home and help you clean up a room. As long as you are in Yanjing, you can come to my house at any time. Then I will accept deferentially. Su Yun was not polite to Lin Xuero, because the more unscrupulous he was with Lin Xuero, the more relaxed he felt in his heart. He still liked this original feeling. But let's say first, don't try to seduce me with the school uniform, or I will really not be polite to you. Lin Xuero snorted. Don't be complacent. You bumped into me that time just because I miss my childhood. Besides, those school uniforms have long been worn. Even if I want to seduce you, I have to figure out what kind of fetish you have. I really don't know what kind of fetish you have. Black silk fetish? Lolicon? Or older sister fetish? Su Yun smiled bitterly. I have a total fetish. You'd better not challenge my bottom line. Otherwise, it will be too late to regret. If you don't want to end your teenage years so early, don't tease me. I have reminded you what I should. If you still don't pay attention, then don't blame me for being rude. Humph. Lin Xuero did not fall for Su Yun's trick. She directly hooked her finger provocatively and said, Come on, then let's try it. I'll test it tonight and see if you have a bathrobe fetish. Puff. Su Yun just thought about it and wanted to have a nosebleed. Don't test it. He was definitely a bathrobe fetish. If Lin Xuero's long legs stood in front of him in a bathrobe, he would have 120% resistance. If one were to describe Lin Xuero's long legs, in Su Yun's words, it would be that her legs started to split below her navel. There were not many models with her figure. Even if the long-legged lead actor of Korea Simida's hit drama, the long-legged ones stood in front of her, he would also feel a sense of inferiority. But after thinking about it, Su Yun was really looking forward to it. As long as I don't gamble, I have nothing to be afraid of. After all, I won't be the one losing out. See you tonight. Lin Xuero waved her hand and said goodbye. She never thought that driving this car to school would blow up the school. Many people believed that a girl who was rich, beautiful, highly educated, pure, and not so cold usually could not survive in this world. Lin Xuero came out to subvert this theory. This was the first time Su Yun knew that a man driving a red sports car could attract so many heads. He really didn't know if these people suspected that he was a kept man. Yesterday, Wang Yi didn't meet him as promised. He couldn't calm down. Wang Yi was not a person who didn't keep his promises, so Su Yun was sure that something went wrong on the way. He wasn't worried about things like an urgent mission. He was just a little worried about Wang Yi's health. After all, he was an old man. Many of the injuries he suffered when he was young might not be felt before, but when he was old, there would always be repercussions. No matter the time, the people on duty were all members of the special forces under the Dragon Brigade. Su Yun could basically recognize their faces. Even if Su Yun didn't know them, with Su Yun's position in the Dragon Fury team, there would be no one who didn't know him. To Su Yun's relief, the person at the entrance of the Dragon Brigade headquarters was Lin Long by Songguang. Bai Songguang, who was on duty at the entrance, was really surprised. Su Yun actually stuck his head out of a red sports car and greeted the surveillance camera at the entrance. This really scared Bai Songguang. When he saw the person on the screen, he immediately rushed out of the security room to the entrance of the headquarters. Through the small window at the side of the entrance, Bai Songguang said nervously, "Boss, why did you suddenly come back? Did you leave something behind? Tell me, I'll ask them to help me find it. I really can't let you in today." "I didn't leave anything behind. I was just a little worried, so I wanted to come back and see. Is Shizuen okay? Why do I feel like something is wrong with the brigade today?" Su Yun was slightly startled. If it was normal, Lin Long would have opened the door for him immediately, and not opened the small window to talk to him. Bai Songguang nodded. Shizuen is fine, but the Dragon Brigade has entered the first level of preparation. They can leave at any time. What the hell happened? Su Yun was also nervous. This kind of nervousness was innate. The first level of preparation was not a small matter. It meant that a big battle was about to happen. Why are they entering the first level of preparation? Bai Songguang wanted to say something, but he couldn't. Then he decided to go all out. "Boss, this is a big secret. It would be a serious mistake for me to say it, but I feel at ease telling you. That bastard Abe-san from the Japanese cabinet is stirring up trouble again. We have to go to Turtle Island in the East China Sea to prepare for battle at any time. Su Yun frowned instantly. This was definitely not a small matter. He had seen the news some time ago. International media sources reported that Mei Nation was urging Japan to return more than 300 kilograms of radioactive plutonium. Mei Nation placed this batch of plutonium in Japan during the Cold War. The Japanese cabinet's reason was that it was for research purposes. Most of it was weapons-grade plutonium. Mei Nation was worried that this batch of plutonium would fall into the hands of terrorists. In fact, Japan was now the biggest terrorist threat because they possessed this nuclear material. It was a very serious threat to the whole of Asia and even the whole world. But Japan refused to return it, claiming that it was still for research purposes. In addition, some time ago, Darong Electronics, which Su Yun had destroyed in Xinjiang, had secretly developed and excreted nuclear pollutants in Huaxia. When all these aspects were connected, it revealed the Japanese's devil heart hidden under the human skin. It turned out that Wang Yi missed the appointment because of this matter. After confirming that Wang Yi's health was fine, Su Yun was relieved. When are you guys going to set off? It was not confirmed yet. They had been in a preparation meeting since last night. Bai Songguang said, "The situation seems to be serious, so I can't say when they will be done. Boss, I really can't let you in now. It's fine if the main corps isn't here." Su Yun expressed his understanding. If they provoked the main corps in this emergency situation, the consequences would be absolutely unimaginable. "I understand." Su Yun nodded. After thinking for a while, he said, "When you see Master, tell him that I was here. Also, tell him that I have never forgotten what he said. I know very well that the threat of war is always there. War is not far away from us. This is not an empty slogan. Tell Master that as a soldier of Huaxia, I am always ready. Always ready." Su Yun once stood under the national flag and raised his right hand to solemnly swear. So this sentence was Su Yun's oath to the national flag. It would never change. Even if he was no longer a member of the Dragon Fury team, even if he was no longer the Yen Long who led the charge, he would always be a soldier of the motherland. Yes. Bai Songguang was deeply moved. He solemnly saluted Su Yun. Why did they still worship Su Yun even after he left for a year? It was because Su Yun made them understand too much. In the eyes of everyone in the Dragon Fury team, Su Yun was their wind vane. Whatever Su Yun did, they would do. There was absolutely no mistake. Su Yun also seriously saluted Bai Songguang back. "Lin Long, help me pass on to every brother in the Dragon Fury team. Fighting for the country, 10,000 deaths will not be avoided. Spilling blood for the country is the first realization of every soldier after stepping into the army. We will not sleep because of peaceful times. We are the lions of the East. We are the dragons of the East. Whoever dares to harm the interests of our country and people, we will fight them with our lives." "Yes." Bai Songguang's reply was crisp and clear. His voice shook the sky. Even though Su Yun drove away from the entrance of the Dragon Brigade headquarters, his heart was still in the Dragon Brigade. He was muddle-headed the whole day. His mind was filled with thoughts of the level 1 combat readiness. If he was still in the army, what would he be doing at this time? Would he be cleaning his guns with his brothers? He had been waiting for Wang Yi's call. He believed that as long as Lin Long passed on the message, Wang Yi would definitely call him. He wanted to participate in this battle for the country, not for himself. He was waiting. Even though he knew that the chances were slim, he still waited for Wang Yi's call. Even if Wang Yi did not agree to his idea of participating in the battle, he would at least give him a call. But after waiting for a whole day, Su Yun did not receive a call from Wang Yi. When the sun was setting and the clouds were rosy, Su Yun's phone suddenly rang. Su Yun did not even look and quickly picked up the phone. But on the other end of the phone, it was not Wang Yi's voice. It was Lin Shuero's playful voice. "What are you doing? Are you not done with your work? I'm waiting at home to play bathing suit seduction with you." What's wrong? Are you scared? Coward. It's you. Shuero. Su Yun did not hide his disappointment at all. "Su Yun, even if you don't want to pick up my call, You don't have to be so obvious. Why do you sound like you've fallen out of love? I didn't dump you. You don't have to go that far, right? Lin Shuero said. Where are you? I'll go find you. Why are you so emotional? Who bullied you? Suyin put away his chaotic thoughts. It seemed that this matter was not as simple as he thought. Wang Yi had not contacted him yet. Suyin knew that waiting like this was not a solution. I'll go find you immediately. Oh right, is your dad home? You don't dare to come when my dad is home? He did not mind. In fact, he was looking forward to it. Lin Shuero said with disdain. Don't worry. He's out tonight. Come quickly. And even if he's home, it's nothing. He can't wait for you to sleep in my room tonight, so that he can be at ease. That you're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.